Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Now, from what I remember, one of the main characters in this episode does in fact have the same name as the protagonist of the ballet that this is, the name is ripping off. I also mentioned briefly in the description, I think I came up with this idea at some point, but that could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, even though I quoted myself in the description. Whatever. I'm wondering, because from that perspective, it would sort of make sense to have at least the two Odettes collide, or at the very least one replace the other, but they seem to have been, apparently, it's an isekai story. According to Josh, in this episode, Juliet meets up for a date and they both get teleported to somewhere random. And they figure out where they are and how to get back. It's not even the same pop name, unless I'm remembering it wrong and Odette was not actually part of this, but I'm pretty sure I had mentioned like Juliet and Odette being specifically the ones that I said that like they had like a rhyming convention going on. It's in one of the other videos. I was gonna watch the I was gonna watch the other Pops videos, but I got distracted by Goodbye Internet from the Game Theorist channel. If I could suggest watching any particular video today, aside from this one, I would say that one. Not now. Watch it later. For now, we shall discuss the ballet pops. And don't worry, KW, you don't have to join this Discord because I, in fact, already have two guests for today who will derail things enough without me bringing up MatPat for the millionth time. So, first of all, we have our regular guest, Aiden the Best.
The truck strikes again, and the ballet pops apparently isekai'd them.
Indeed, yes. That's part two. That's part two's name. So this one, like part two, the truck strikes back.
You know, basically they're walking across the street and they both saw a little girl. So they're both like, oh, I'll save you. They push the little girl out of the way and get hit by the truck and isekai'd into a magical world where they get godly powers somehow.
I thought you were about to reference the trolley witch problem for a second there, but anyway.
What?
No, not the trolley witch.
That?
Sorry, the trolley problem. I said trolley witch. I was defaulted because of Harry Potter. Yeah, the trolley problem. I guess they don't call it that. And there's that here. Yes, the train problem. Essentially, it's the one where you know, do you push someone onto the rails to avoid someone else? Anyway, whatever.
Oh yeah, but also side note, the internet video, the goodbye internet video from the Game Theorist made me sad and gave me a minor existential crisis where I'm like, oh god, is that my fate? What is my fate? Am I gonna fizzle out? Am I going to just be what is going on?
Oh, okay. You're referring to the very specific what if scenario that MatPat plants at one particular point where he says that the option that he could have gone with would be the easy option of fizzling out as your relevance fades, which is precisely what doesn't happen in that video.
Fizzles out, changes, sells out to become like some weird kids channel.
Only one of those things was mentioned in that video.
It eventually just dies and my channel is left barren, people not understanding that I'm actually dead.
I do worry about that, actually. I thought
that is actually a fear of me in general on the internet. Like, people like on Discord are gonna be like, oh, Aiden just is fair like that one day when I'm actually just dead. Yeah. Like, you're not notified that I'm dead. It's just I'm dead and you don't know I'm dead.
Which is why I'm grateful that I've given people manager of access to this account now that YouTube has added that feature, so people can actually notify if something actually happens.
Yeah.
And the other person who has that access is right here today.
Hey guys, yeah, that's a piece of lore that I bet no one in chat knew. Yeah, I do I am pretty high up on that hierarchy list, which is just not a thing we've ever talking about.
I mean, but BB, out of anyone on like the Butter Bunch and like the Butter Corp in general, me and you have the most power out of anyone besides Jacob.
Well, Butter's in my name. I gathered that. I think. Yes. I think everyone did actually.
Yeah.
No, I will say, Goodbye Internet did watch it as well, actually. Very sad. I'm glad he mentioned the change in research. I knew I wasn't crazy I knew
Oh, no,
I wasn't
yeah,
crazy.
someone brought that up on this video. I don't know if it was you or it was KW or both of you have mentioned it independently. I knew someone had said that, and yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess we just all
because
didn't.
I've
We all
been
had to check the credits more often.
yeah, because there was like I will say I never checked the credits. Descriptions just aren't a thing that I tend to actually look into super big into. Usually I check the top where it's like, oh, here's a description of what the video is, like here's the pitch. That's about as far as I usually get.
Yeah, classy descriptions are reserved for specific shows on the internet, like Gacha
Yeah.
Review, for example.
Yes, but no, yes, it yeah, it was a sad one. I'm
That was awesome.
intrigued in seeing, and I don't want to spoil the video, so I am intrigued in seeing where things go with the direction that he has said it will go. I'm hoping this is a good thing for the future.
I mean, the phrasing sounds like it would be a good thing. That's why I'm not having an existential crisis. It's like, well, you know what? There is something else out there in the beyond.
Sure.
And quite frankly, I myself have several ideas of things that I want to do that I don't do because of YouTube. But on the other hand, I'm still in a position where YouTube is the main thing that has worked for me, and therefore I'm like, okay, well, I'll put my creative efforts into this for now, and then I'll put that other stuff on the side, and and I'll just use like whatever my sleep schedule ends up being every now and then. So I can see certain points. It's like, you know what, if that happens to me eventually, then fine, fair enough.
I don't know, a lot of
for 10 years.
A lot of my creative stuff is set in your universe, so I'm never really planning on leaving YouTube anytime soon, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I feel like when most of the time when people leave YouTube, it's not really of their own control. Something happens in real life, or their channel gets terminated.
Unless we're talking about the situation we are right now.
Yeah, I mean,
which
again,
is very much under control.
This is a very rare situation. Most of the time, it just kind of happens one day.
Didn't he also list a bunch of examples of people who have done the exact same thing?
Yes, he did right at the beginning.
Okay, technically, but not really, because one of them was Stampy ending his lovely world. That doesn't count because he didn't quit YouTube. He just quit making lovely world videos.
Okay. But I think
that's not really quitting YouTube.
No, I do think that counts. I do think that counts because very few people can think of people who had Stampy as their childhood, namely, right? Because that was where his big popularity boom happened. Not very many, I don't think, can name very many other series other than Lovely World, you know?
Even if you don't want to count that, that's one example in the myriad of other ones provided.
Yeah. Again, I'm saying it's a rarity. Yeah, you could point out some popular examples now, but I will say, a lot of time when big YouTubers quit or just stop posting one day, it's normally because of circumstances out of their control, or they just fizzle out of popularity to the point where it's they just quit naturally because it's yeah, I used to get hundreds of thousands of millions per video, but now I'm only getting 1K view per video, 1K views per video. I'm gonna quit now.
Oh, also, speaking of moving on, can I just,
Can we move on to the episode?
Woes of a VA, everybody.
Oh God.
Woes of a VA. I'm not gonna say what project this is for because I don't want to ruin his whole shebang. But
Shaboom.
But I was asked to do a thing by Aiden the other day. And today
I'm not going to mention whose project this is. Oh, but here's Aiden.
No, I'm not going to mention which project it is.
Fine. It's obviously a Cherub's Tale. That's clearly getting a 15th season.
Yeah,
I thought it was Running with You having come back.
Running with You. Running with You is on season 20.
It could be a new thing.
Season 2, run it back.
Oh my!
It could be a new thing. No one knows. But I was about to start learning how to do the accent for it, right? And I was like, okay, I got a time period, I got an accent. I was like, I have a genius idea.
That is so much work. You don't have to do that much work.
I have
it sounds like good timing then, doesn't it? If you
Oh, you would think so. I had a genius idea, right? Because I was like, I have a time period, I have an accent, and I'm trans. I have the best joke of all time. What if I learn a transatlantic accent? I feel like it's the best of all worlds.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I was going to learn it, right? And you know what happened right before the stream started?
This is where the woe thing comes in, doesn't it?
Right before the stream started, someone showed up in my DMs and said, "Hey, I don't want you to do this role anymore. I want you to do a different character."
It's a larger role, okay? Listen,
It's also a different role from what I was just about to do.
I literally assigned you a grunt that said the words, "Yes, ma'am," and now I'm actually giving you a character.
I appreciate it, but I'm just saying this was like an hour after I started watching a video on transatlantic accent.
You
Okay,
don't have to do any accent. Just do your normal voice. It's okay.
Okay.
I
Suggestion. Suggestion.
Do what you want. It's your.
What I want is do a
is to do
transatlantic
the role.
accent.
It's do the
Okay,
yes man line.
then give the character a transatlantic accent.
No, I can't do that now because now you said they're Irish.
I said that because you're like, okay, what accent? It's like, I don't know, Irish. You like
Well, now
that?
you said you put it out into the ether.
Okay, fine.
Wait, Phoebe, why would you ask what accent and then but after you've prepared for another one?
I just like I don't write
Because
these.
it's a different character.
Okay, BB, you know I don't write
So
these
then the
characters.
transatlantic accent doesn't. Oh, you're saying you want to transfer the accent over?
Like,
Okay,
BB,
got it.
I don't write these characters with an accent in mind. I just write these characters as characters.
Oh,
That is
but,
one
you
thing
know.
that I can. There's one thing that I can vouch for. That is that
I
we
don't-
don't
don't
unless
think of
prompted to
accents.
respond. We don't come up with accents because most of the time we want the voice actors to be comfortable enough to actually do what they do, and in most cases with amateur voice actors, doing an accent throws them off.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
in future,
I
BB,
like
if you
a
want
challenge.
in future, Phoebe, in future, if you want to do an accent and you want to challenge yourself, don't ask us.
yeah, just like
I don't
it's
know.
their
Whenever I
choice.
make characters, though, I like whenever I think about them, I picture like their voice, which
Then
can
you don't need
evolve.
us to. Then you don't need us to respond in that case.
No,
either.
because
Yeah.
but see, that's not my vision though. That's your guys' vision.
Well, if
I
it
want
conflicts
to
with either
fulfill
of our-
your vision.
if it conflicts with our visions, we will tell you.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I don't know.
listen,
I don't know about that, Jacob.
I've
I've seen some of the reviews of the videos that I've VA'd for you guys, and sometimes I mess up the lines, and I only find out mid-review, and I'm like, hold on, I wish I were just told to redo that. Hold on, I could have redone that. Like they're
I mean,
like
I guess
like
other
the
thing
dice
is
art
when you
one.
ask-
You were like, oh, this wasn't read in the way I was picturing, and I'm back here thinking, wow, I wish I were told that.
When I say something's read the way there's picturing, that doesn't necessarily always mean that it's the wrong answer. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, okay, go in this direction. Think about like a D&D
And-
campaign, for example. Players aren't going to make the same decision the DM wants you to do all the time, but it sometimes ends up with better results.
Listen, BB, if you want to do a transatlantic accent, go for a transatlantic accent.
No, now I want to
See,
do an
that
Irish
has
one.
see that has more layer and depth than an Irish accent, which you've already done in the past.
Not publicly, I don't think. I couldn't get that was during that time where I was really struggling at getting lines in, and so I got
yeah,
recasted.
you were initially gonna be Trevor, but then it's like, oop, no,
Okay,
you
but
can't get
if
in
I could-
lines. Okay, Dylan, you're Trevor now.
That is also a reason that we sometimes don't ask you for redos, BB, just so you know. But either way,
That's not. But I don't delay
I
on lines anymore. What do you mean?
I guess we wouldn't know. But anyway, the precedent was set. Anyway, the point. But my suggestion actually is, why not just do both of those characters if they're both essentially grunts, where one of them is like a bit of a bigger role than the other one. Okay, so be it.
What's
But
the
if
actual
they're both-
character's name? The other one's just a random grunt.
Okay, fine. Well, either way. So if one of those there's a main character that you hear more of, and one of them just a grunt who would have a different accent in theory, why not just do both of the characters?
That
I
works.
mean, that's
too,
fine
if you
too.
wanna-
My
that.
my problem is
You do
not
that.
like my that's fine too. My problem really just lies in the fact that like out of all the times
It almost
was,
got
like,
taken away from you, yeah.
it was the day that I was about to start really going in on like the practice.
You said
that
you
it
would turn in the
immediately-
line like 2 days ago. You said you would turn in the-
No. You are paraphrasing a very exact quote I gave you with a very exact time frame.
Okay.
I said either today or early next week. It is still early next week. Guess why I was trying to learn an accent today?
Well, there we
Dang.
go. In the chat, we also have something here. I have to do an impression of Majesty's soon-to-be-released voice-edited pop series, not ballroom pops. I have to do a British accent. I think I know which one you're talking about, but I also won't say which one it is. But actually, since you bring that up, can I just mention that Johnny has had the ballroom pops auditions open for some time? Well, I said not some time. He's put a submission thing in there, but he said this were open, and no one has gone for any of the female roles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Like there
are so many female roles compared to there are so many
two male roles and 4 auditionees.
Yeah. I mean, I would try to do that, but honestly, I don't think my voice would pull it off. Oh, hi, my name is Sylviana.
We've been over this already.
Oh my god, my name is Becky. Okay, I feel like that voice could work as a bit character, purely as a bit. As a bit, it would work. As a serious character, no. But a voice like that would work for a bit, purely a bit.
If you want a lumpy space princess impression, I can probably do something.
Oh my glob.
I love that. Oh my glob.
I literally thought you were talking about me, baby. I had a heart attack. It's been a while, but I think that's in the ballpark.
I mean, honestly, Jacob, I'm surprised you didn't go for Majesty.
I mean, I have done the Majesty voice a bunch of times in reviews because I know what she sounds like in the Tony TV series, but also I know that I am not doing a good job at it at the same time.
I love your Majesty voice. What are you talking about? It's amazing.
I mean, you know what? If actually no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say that if no one goes for Majesty, then I would do so, but that's just going to encourage more people to not audition. So I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be Majesty.
Actually,
do the auditions.
Wait a minute! I just realized something. You know who could audition for Majesty?
Anyone. Anyone who's watching this right now, find Johnny's server, ask him for it, DM him.
True. That is true. But what I was saying is, we know a British voice actor.
We know several.
Okay, we know a British female voice actress, specifically.
I could become British.
I mean, she's not in the server.
Yeah, I mean, what if she joins the server? She would be a good Majesty. I'm talking about Emily.
Yes, I agree. I know you're talking about Emily. I'm not people. Now, if we mention specific people are going to be like, "Oh, well, that person's gone for the role." So
no, she hasn't. She's not even in the server. Please audition.
Yeah, well, that person would be more suited for it. Which is what I worry happened with the people above auditions.
Yeah, I think they saw the first person to audition for Michaela. I think they saw that like, oh well, they're a really good voice actress. I guess I shouldn't go for them because there's no way I'm going to top that. It's like,
if that is anyone's thought process, I will say right now, we have not made any decisions yet about the performances, and just because the performance is good doesn't necessarily mean that it's the accurate one that we're looking for. So
audition's still open.
And like, heck, when you audition, like, there's maybe we hear something in the voice that we didn't know we didn't know what we were looking for that. But we get it. Like, okay, like,
think about like the tabletop allegory I mentioned earlier.
I didn't run auditions for like Helen Mort, but when I casted AC as Helen Mort, I just really liked the way her voice sounded, and I thought it really fit with Helen. And that's one of the things. Like, initially, I didn't think Helen's voice would be exactly like how it is now, but I really liked it. As soon as I heard AC saying the lines, I was like, okay, that makes it. I think this definitely. And maybe not initially what I was going for, but hey, this really works for Helen. It's really good. And that's the way I tend to think about it. You know, it's like, hey, give it a shot. I mean, if you don't get the role, you don't get the role. But if you do get the role, you get the role. And that's really cool.
Mm.
And heck, we could always use a backup anyways. Like, if we need a backup, you know. I mean, there's only one audition right now. If we have a backup, you know, you could still be the backup. Even if you don't get the role.
Yeah. That's a fair point. Yeah, I forgot entirely about mentioning backups. Also, so back to the ballroom pops thing, just because briefly I've mentioned too much, but I wanted to butcher the Spanish. There is, as far as I'm aware, 2 female characters in that server that have that speak any Spanish whatsoever. So just don't go for those ones and go for the myriad of other ones that are there. Problem solved. That being said, it was very amusing to hear Aiden's audition for Carlos.
Listen, I didn't know what that word was. Honestly, I kind of want the evil doctor role though. I want that role. I'm gonna be honest.
But I mean, so do I. That's the impression that I'm actually the most proud of as far as Super Pops goes. So that's the one that I'm rooting for.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get any roles, but I thought I would do audition anyways. Why not?
Which is the right mentality, because otherwise you don't get anything guaranteed.
If there's any more male characters, I will audition for them too. But
you do have like the classic quote: "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So yeah. Please, yeah, I guess I'm saying to all the VAs who are hesitant for all three things I've mentioned, do them. That's it.
Just
okay, let's watch
do
the
it.
video. Okay, let's watch the actual video.
Caca.
Without further ado, on with the review.
Perfect.
Oh god, I thought it was gonna be. I thought we were gonna like hear some footsteps. So I was like, wait, is the sound off? No, never mind.
Also, I like the detail in the mirror. Oh, now there's another detail in the mirror.
I was going to say, I like the fact that there is a mirror reflection. Which also implies...
And also back-facing character.
Yeah, and it also implied masking.
I don't think it's masking. I think it's just editing a photo.
Potentially, yeah. But, well, I mean, it's either got to be... Because look at like the lighting effects. It's either got to be that the layer... with the mirror is actually duplicated, and one of them has been faded down slightly of the top of that character, or the character has been masked and also the opacity has been turned down ever so slightly to look like as part of the lighting and the reflection. Yeah. One of those two things. The silence is still extremely eerie, though.
I think I'm ready now.
Actually, wait, is this supposed to be something? Because I might have downloaded like the wrong file.
No. This is correct. The opening scene just has no music.
Okay. All right.
I looked at the actual video briefly. I didn't see much of it.
Oh, back-facing character showing only back hair. Well, I mean, you know what? The more that you obscure, the less likely you are to see the blemishes. Like, I suppose that does kind of work. And I'm so glad that I paused before I jump scared myself with the actual intro.
I think that's the same logic that people use to like just shove a bunch of glitches in their video, because it's an easy transition to just hide cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Because if everything's messed up, you have no idea how much of it was purposeful.
Also, by the way, the Ballroom Pop designs have fixed my biggest issue that I have with Pop's designs.
I do love that
they don't have a single color. There's not. I mean, yes, it's primarily a single color, but there's other aspects like whites or other colors and and like maybe darker shades
have
as
different
the main
brightnesses
color.
And variations. Yeah,
like it adds a lot of variation to the character design and makes it actually not look like a thing. Like, I know people give Power Rangers crap, but at the same time, if you look at their costume designs, they're not just a single color. It is primarily blank Ranger color, but they also have like white, black, other shades, like other kind of colors that break up the
slight details. Color.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were going around in like Filthy Frank style full body suits, I feel that'd be even worse than what they do now. That's not what people think of necessarily. Also, yes, Raw Attitude, you ruined it. It's me, 2023. Yeah, that's why I knew there was an Odette, because I remember the Odette jet thing from before. Anyway, and yes, they have noses. There's also a thing about this.
I'm not really a fan of the nose, but or like the nose pick. I don't know why, but that's just me.
We've mentioned this before. All right, I'm off. Ooh, where to? Just a cafe. Just a cafe. There's no accent.
Alright. One thing I would say about cafes, and I said this when it comes to scripts, I would give the cafe a name canonically where like it makes it feel more like a place and not just a statement of a thing. Or like I would have it be like, I don't know, I'm going to let's say
Cesario's.
Aurora Cafe.
Monjalo Orange.
I'm going to Aurora Cafe. Let's say that. And then bam, you have a place established in the series, and it does subtle world building because he actually gives places names and stuff, and it's not just like, oh yeah, this is the store, this is, I don't know, my house, this is,
What are you calling your house, Aiden?
I don't know, that bad example there, but it adds. This is the store, this is the restaurant, this is blank. It actually gives more world building and more setting stuff where you could bring it up.
I agree that it could. I don't necessarily think a cafe needs it, because I feel like I watch a lot of shows that have like different cafe-esque places, like Friends, for example. They always kind of start episodes out in a nice little coffee shop or whatever. I couldn't tell you what that place is called, even if it did have a name. No one cares what the cafe is called, you know?
House BB off.
But I mean, but especially for world building's sake, it's just kind of nice.
I will say that a counterexample, of course, is would be like the show Allo Allo, which also has a cafe as the primary setting, as the main character is a cafe owner, and the cafe is called the Cafe Rene, because also because the owner's called Rene, so it kind of makes sense. But I mean, either way, it like adds a little bit of something. It's not necessary, but it is a nice detail when you can have it and when you can think of something.
Plus, also I find when naming a place, you could also slip in a reference. Like, this happens in Komai Season 2, I'm not going to say it, but there is a name of a place. Like, a place was just a generic name. Like, it was just, we're going to the blank. But when I was talking to KW, it was like, hey, how about we actually give it a name? And we actually put a reference in front of that name. So there was a blank word in front of it referencing something that me and KW both like.
Yeah,
so
I've done both of these things at one point. I've done like a double reference in Through Her Eyes, because the Cesario's Cafe was a reference to Cesario from 12th Night, which in turn was used as a reference in She's the Man, which was based off of 12th Night, and that was the only reference of the main character's name or fake name in that whole movie. On the other hand, I never named Moana's middle school.
Yeah, sure, I do have beef with that. But like, one thing that also could be cool with referencing a name in this series is you could have it be a reference to, like, say, a character in a ballet. You know, like
that's what all of these characters' names are. They're references to ballet main characters.
I don't know.
Like you could also reference like a play or ballet or a character or
maybe how about a composer or something? I don't know, like,
that could be cool. Like, have a reference that like really ties in the ballet theming, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, the thing is, I just don't know, like if the audience, because me as an audience member, I just don't care half the time, you know? So it's like, I don't really feel like I have a responsibility to name these random places.
Yeah. Me as a writer, I also don't care half the time. I care the other half.
Yeah, there is a place that will be shown later on in Rip in the Dark, though. I also didn't give it a name. It was Emily that was like, hey, can we give this place a name? And I'm like, sure, why not? Because, you know, we were just talking there, my player, what's it gonna harm, you know? Mm-hmm. And the name that she had chosen, by pure luck, she had gone to her mother to ask for a name, and the mom, not knowing what the series was about, presented a name that Emily then told me, and it ended up being accidentally symbolic.
I honestly love doing that.
So at that point, it's like, well, okay, then I can kind of reason it out. I don't think it really matters what the name is, but the fact that it's symbolic to other things, you can kind of connect it to the overall plot. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah.
I do like I do like doing that with like song lyrics. Sometimes I'll ask people if I'm like really stuck. I don't like to go to like rhyming websites. That's not why I tend to like write songs. So if I'm like really stuck, I'll like ask somebody's like, okay, quick, give me something that rhymes with blah blah blah, and then they'll give me like something. It's like, okay, can't use that. Oh, that could be interesting, and then I go from there. So somewhat similar. Also, as far as ballet references go, another thing is that this is all Tchaikovsky music, which yes, it is indeed. I was gonna say, oh, for the name of the Cafe for Composer, I thought Tchaikovsky instantly, but I was like, well, I mean, that's too obvious because that's obviously connected to swine leg here.
I will say I do like in stories when when names are either symbolic of something or referencing something, but especially when there's like some sort of symbolicness to it, I think that's cool. Like I do that a lot in Fallen Angels with maybe referencing like demons or something like that for like evil angels and like have a like be a quote unquote symbolism or like a
Helen Mort's
parallel.
name's also a reference.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think it adds more depth and it makes it kind of interesting if you know the reference. If you don't know the reference, it doesn't matter. But if you do know the reference, it's just a cool little detail that you know about. And that's how references and like symbolism, I feel like, can work in a story like that.
Yeah. This is exactly what I told Moni about pop culture references or any like classic literature references or whatever it might have been. It's like, you know, you add enough of those and people are going to get some of them. They might not get all of them, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to lose out on the story just because they don't know who Scott Sterling is.
Yeah, although I will say when the pop culture references get to the point where they're referenced constantly to the point and they're blatantly, like not even just subtle ones, just blatant, derailing the story or conversation just to have a bunch of random pop culture references, that's when they become a problem.
You know what?
Just casually writing them in makes a lot of sense, or where you just briefly reference the thing in a line and then you move on quickly, rather than like lingering on it, be like, oh yeah, get that. It's like, okay, I said what you did there, but whatever.
What I love, and I don't see it happen very often, but what I love is I don't even remember where I've seen it, but I like whenever they'll make a reference to just some random piece of pop culture, and then if you look into it or know what it is, it's actually like foreshadowing what like maybe you took something from it as inspiration. It's like, hey, I may or may not have accidentally, well, no, I may or may not have foreshadowed what was going to happen like way later by saying, hey, you remember Mission Impossible? Great movie, right?
I mean, Jacob in a way did do that in season 2. There was one conversation on the campsite where they were talking, and I think it was like in episode 2, and they were like talking about like horror movies, and Raina's like, oh, you guys are dumb or something like that. I remember like there was a conversation about like horror movies and like slasher thing that briefly came up as foreshadowing.
I think that what you're referring to is like where we talk about like splitting up and how how they get picked off one by one, and of course that happens to Raina. She gets picked off. I think that's what I'm saying here. It's not like I was just saying like, oh yes, horror movies exist. This is going to go into a direction of a
you know what I mean. I'm trying my best to explain it.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's keep
clarify
going.
that. Yeah, absolutely. I named the school in my heart count because that's a school I've always dreamt about for many years when people go to school. See, that's the thing. Not exactly like symbolism to anything driving the story, as it is, but it's something that means something to you. That's also a thing that you can do sometimes. Why not? Okay, Bond knows who Scott Sterling is. Thank you. Where were you when season 3 started? But yeah.
Most people are still here, given the fact that it's barely started.
Yes, BB, that is an interesting observation you have just made.
Cool.
Yes, all of us have been there during all the ages.
Oh, sorry, you're referring to like where you were. No, that's not accurate. Moving on. Can I come to the cave? No,
Oh my god, no, I thought you said, I forgot about the cat. I thought I forgot about that joke for a second. I thought you said cave. And because I've been doing so much for my DC timeline lately, I started picturing, hey, can I go to the Batcave? Like someone here just has the Batcave somewhere and they're like, hey, can we just go chill up there? I don't want to go to the cafe today.
Daniel, we need you to watch the Batcave. The Batcave? No, Batcave.
You couldn't see it, but I was looking through the screen to see if I like missed the word cave somewhere.
DC pops, okay? Majesty watches a superhero movie with the DC heroes, and it's like, I got an idea, and then
I
gives
like
4 random people superpowers and makes them pops, but makes them all like themed around some of the DC heroes. Like,
I think if that happens, then there's going to be some big questions about how this world's lore operates and whether those are real or
wouldn't
not.
one of
this
those-
world is confusing as is.
Wouldn't one of those literally be called Super Pop though? Or like several of them, in fact.
It'd be hilarious. Hey, this is Super Pop. This is
This
Super
is Bat
Pop.
Bat Pop, Wonder Pop,
Oh my god, no!
Harley
Oh my god,
Pop.
it's yo no.
Martian Pop Hunter.
If Superman is Super Pop, then they could totally have like one of the
What about Supergirl?
Well, see, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was saying. They could
Super
totally.
Pop.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, they could just have 2 Super Pops and one Superman, the other is Supergirl, and you can't tell which one is which except for like 1 or 2 lines.
No, one of them has blonde hair, one has black hair. It's like that's the only difference.
They're always kept separate because when they're in the same room, there's always like Super Pop. Yes. It's like how I imagine a conversation with Dr. Connors and Dr. Connors goes in Spider-Man. If you got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, are you okay? I might be going on a date. Oh, what? And how old are you? 13? Don't you think that's a bit too young?
That's so inaccurate. What are you talking about? People have gone on
13-year-olds
dates even
date
younger than 13.
13-year-olds date each other all the time for like a day. I'm not even
Yeah, I mean, like, most of them...
Aiden, dating someone and going on a date are 2 different things.
Are they?
When people say they're dating, they're not saying that they're going frequently on dates. What they mean is they're in a relationship. When you have a date,
I wouldn't know, Mr. Casanova, with all his girlfriends and stuff. I've never been.
See, I've heard that, but I've never drawn that as a distinction, right? Because to me, I feel like a healthy relationship should just be going on dates in general to keep the romance going a little bit more.
That's certainly a good idea.
And so whenever people are like,
however, that's not universal.
So whenever people are like, oh yeah, we're dating, and they're like partners, I always thought that's meant as like, hey, we're partners and like we're dating. Not that we are partners and therefore we are dating.
Not a lot of 13-year-olds date where I live, only 15 and up. My
That's weird.
hometown, Mormontown, USA. What's his name? I know Kittree, but it's okay, and his name is Romeo.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
Did you just get catfished?
Someone specifically made a profile just to attract her. Yeah.
Right? I mean, whose name is actually Romeo?
I'm Romeo. I hate the Capulets. My family hates Capulets, you know. I like to drink poison on the weekends, you know, the usual.
I also happen to already be dating someone who was my own age before meeting you.
You know, the usual.
Yeah. Which, incidentally, speaking of ages, since we're going with the accuracy of Juliet being 13 right now,
yeah, I was about to
does
say.
that mean that
I'm pretty sure the guy is 13. Okay, why would that be interjected? It's like symbolism. It's symbolism. It's not literal.
Yeah, it's symbolism for pedophilia.
No, baby.
That's what this is.
He's gonna get demonetized.
I do love when that word comes up on streams and I have no control over it.
Why? And it wasn't even me this time.
I don't. Do they demonetize you for that?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
They can. It hasn't happened yet, but it's possible.
Because I feel
It's
like I
been known
never
to
hear
happen.
about that as the demonetization factor.
YouTube flags certain words, and if they appear in videos they detect it, they actually will limit your ads. It hasn't happened to me yet, but it is viable to happen.
Okay,
Alright,
Flower says Romeo's 14. See?
There we go. Thank you.
They're both minors.
Also,
It's
don't you
not-
think that's a bit too young? Cheshire asking Majesty when he sends out the blue spots on the ship. Yeah, unfortunately, to go back to the theme of what we previously were talking
Wait
about.
a minute. Majesty made these children pops, but then this pop draws the line at dating or going on a date.
Never mind. I had a joke set up there.
Wait
Yeah, I
a
was
minute.
I
Oh,
was
yes,
saying-
we get superheroes, but you cannot date at 13. That's gross. Like, okay,
It's the same
what?
logic as you can go
What's
into the
the
army but you can't
standard?
drink.
Bon, sorry, Hayden, you're repeating the same joke that Bon
I
was
just
trying
thought
to
about
reference.
that. Yes.
And I'm building up now that Cheshire would be the last person to say this, considering what happens with Crystal Pop. And apparently someone else as well. Apparently there's a love triangle I never got to in this series because I gave up. I did, however, recently rewatch the first episode of Super Pops because I wanted to get the Dr. Rune voice perfect for the audition. But anyway. Bengaja. See, she agrees with me. That's come on, essentially.
Oh. I too know Spanish.
You don't realize. You don't
A
realize
little on the nose here, isn't it?
At least they have noses. You don't realize the similarities between you and a certain other couple in fiction?
Is this other member also 16 to 18 years old?
No, because we've just got an answer to that question right now. Anyway,
Except
we've
I
realized.
I forgot. That's the creator of the series.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was just some random person trying to make it seem better than it actually is.
No. No, baby.
Anyways, yeah. We promised never do each other in or fake mutual
Self-death.
unaliving. Yes. Thank you, yeah.
No, it was very real suicide.
Self-death.
Some people never learn. What's he like? How did you meet him?
Oh, well, we went on this dating
Oh man,
site.
YouTube's a bunch of babies. I'm not even swearing or nothing, man. It's a thing that happens.
Tell Susan that.
Tell
let me not
Susan
Susan it.
wabble whoa. That.
All right, Elmer Fudd. Time to plot BB in the back rooms.
It's not my fault. I'm saying normal things.
Sure.
It is a YouTube thing, admittedly.
Yes,
okay.
But still.
All right.
He's very sweet and protects me. And is 18.
He's 14.
Kidding. That's a joke.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
I am so into mature older men. They're so amazing. Especially ones that left her girlfriend for me.
He's older than me by 6 whole months.
He's older than me than 60 years.
But I can't tell you much now. I have to go. Please do.
Girl, like Aiden, stop making these jokes.
Yeah. Okay, see you later. We'll grill you for details after this.
Oh my. Okay. Also, I have beef with this guy's design. Why is his beard a different color than his hair?
I don't know. He dyed one of them.
Why?
Admittedly, that is a thing that can happen in real life.
But it looks weird. Okay, his beard is like this light brown, but his hair is like this white fading into like black for some reason, and like. Also, what is that fur? Like, is that fur green? Why is that fur green?
Didn't like Danny Phantom have a cloner or like a dad or something that had that going on?
He had white streaks.
Yeah, Dark Danny.
That is a villain from the source material. Which one?
I don't know. He'll probably say his name
and
soon.
His beard is brown. Oh, it's Disruptor. Oh, perfect. I don't remember him having a beard, but I guess he got one later. Okay, all right.
It looks dumb.
Okay. Right. I also heard him recently. It was like, yes, the secret dinosaur lair. Not much of a secret if they have the sign there. Okay, right. Why am I just learning that there's a new pop group?
There's a new pop group every day. Like, you act like they're so uncommon. There's like 20 of them at a time. I don't even know why. Also, Jacob.
The bunglers don't deal with all of them.
They could have told me 2 episodes ago.
Oh, well.
Why don't
I just
did the world of a ballet?
I just did some research to try and find a picture. I can't find a picture, by the way.
Wait, don't trap
But I
him in the
did,
world
but I
of
did just find
ballet.
out,
Trap him in
according to
something
the Super
ironic.
Pops wiki, that he's colorblind. So
No, you got to trap them somewhere ironic, like a Footloose world, except for with music.
I mean, it's I suppose it would. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
they're just no, literally Footloose. They hate dancing. You can't do the ballet there. Oh my god.
Wasn't the whole plot of Footloose that they learned to love dancing?
you could totally
movie.
You could totally
Footloose
just
world.
shove them all into like a Nutcracker dimension, and they'll have to like fight the Rat King.
Oh, sure. It's instead of shoving them into world of a ballet, how about world of a different ballet?
Let's put them in a ballet.
Yeah, but this time they'll have to have like an actual setup villain who's like actually.
Well, I mean,
decent.
I would imagine he would want to like take them to a world where there is a villain or some potential existential threat to have them fight.
So, like, what's about to happen?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The suggestion of taking them to Nutcracker World, he may or may not do that, but like he would probably do that anyways.
That's for a future episode.
I sure hope
this guy,
so. That'd be a
this guy
great
can,
final boss.
Look, this guy can repeat himself. He's not Santa. Anyway,
Yeah.
if
If
only there
see-
was a ballet that had dinosaurs.
See,
That's
his
in reference to the
complaint
first
isn't that it's
episode.
ballets, so he could totally do the Nutcracker idea. The
Yes,
Rat King is
yes.
such a worthy foe.
Wait, there is one about some animal.
Yes,
I
Rat
just can't remember
King!
what it is. I believe they were descended from dinosaurs. Yes. Who are the dinosaurs' descendants? Yeah. I've heard about
Birds.
this. Ah! Well, Swan Lake? Or was it
Swine Lake. Oh,
No,
that's
it
how we
was-
get the misunderstanding.
It was Swine Lake, okay?
I was
I-
wondering-
you know what? No,
I
I
was
want
wondering
I
how
want to
to
actually
type it.
see Swine Lake, okay? No, like instead of
Aiden,
us
look at the
being turned
title.
into oh. No, listen, okay. I think it's funny
No, I
having
think
it
we're
literally be about swine instead of swans.
What a coinky dink. So did Eli thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll try Swan Lake.
Oh,
You should have. I love how we had the same reaction. No, you
Hmm.
should have just stuck with it. He should have just gone this entire episode thinking it's Swine Lake.
I mentioned in the description, what if Odette turned into a pig?
Now let's use a spell. I conveniently borrowed Celestia's spell book just for this occasion.
Also, by the way, how powerful is your magic? To the fact that
Powerful enough to transport them into a different world, Aiden.
I mean, yeah, but like, still, it's like, dang. I mean, like, you're like, I assume you're an unexperienced magic user. So how are you so easily able to whip out a spell book and be like, yes, this spell that easily teleports them into an alternate world? Like, how does it work? Do you have to like be touching them? Do you have to blast them? Do you have to
You
give
have
them
to
an
say the
object to
incantation in
hold?
a book. Do you remember how like a lot of magic lore that people that's in media is that someone stumbles across a spell book and they're able to like learn the spells, and if they say the spells correctly, they will manifest the magic.
Marvel
It's-
also did this.
It's literally that.
But like that takes a lot of dedication, time, and focus. Not to mention, you'd
Not
have
if
to
you're
at
a
least
quick
know-
learner.
You'd have to at least know some of the basics of channeling magical energy to do the spell. Because if you
And
don't
as a
even,
veteran bungler, I'm sure Disruptor will be able to cover that at least.
hopefully,
Yeah, I mean he's the villain. You're not getting a spin-off with him. Just assume he has that ability.
I don't like just assuming people have abilities that I don't know if they have or not.
I don't like making assumptions about the story, even if the story presents the precise answers that would align with said assumptions.
Listen,
That's
I will
definitely
go
not
on
how
my rant.
stories work, is it?
no, Matt, no, he's not saying how he's doing it. Oh yeah, I got a spell book. Okay,
We're going
That's-
to see him perform it.
good.
We're going to
that's not-
see visual evidence that he can pull off these feats.
Fine, but if he does it easy, I'm calling BS.
Yeah, the thing about Disruptor, at least in the source material, is that he will like he will announce his plans or like discuss them with Dr. Ruin / Dr. Kittens, and
Dr.
then we'll
Kittens.
yes, that's his original name. She changed it later. So he'll discuss them or he'll like say them out loud because a lot of the time in Super Pops they talk to the camera. They break the fourth wall like this all the time. So to accurately portray Disruptor here, bring out his fourth wall tendencies and describe the plan to the to the audience here. Yeah. All right.
I only discovered yesterday that my cape has a spellbook-sized pocket.
What?
And also
Oh,
the land of
okay.
conveniences. That also happens a lot with Disruptor.
What are the chances? Now, where was that spell? Aha! Here!
He gives me big Doofenshmirtz vibes.
I suppose, yeah.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You're creating alternate world? Okay, that's a whole nother level of power. And oh my god.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is. And you're
No,
going to see
no, no,
that
no.
he possesses that level of power right
No,
now.
but you shouldn't. Creating a whole nother world completely goes against any form of power scaling. You can't just create another world. If you create another world, you're creating living beings. If you're creating a bunch of living beings,
Not
an ecosystem,
necessarily.
a place, not to
I-
mention you're creating a place based off a work of fiction, meaning that world has history. But is it only the history you know, or is it or does it add even more history that you don't even know about that world?
That's not necessarily true.
You're
I can't.
creating a different world.
No, yeah, I
creating a
get
false
that,
reality.
but
You need a power, something to conduct that.
right, but your
power
version of that does not necessarily have to be this version of. Like, I can't say it much, but there's a similar ability in one of my ideas.
I'm also
Wait.
going to say the Chronicles of Narnia, I suppose, would be a better example, since we can talk about that openly.
There's a similar thing in one of my ideas where you can create other dimensions. The side effect is that they collapse after a certain period of time, and generally they don't have like their own history or anything. It's not different universes. It's just
actually,
like create. It's like if you created the Nether for 5 days and then it just kind of imploded on itself.
I get, but like again, like the way that's set up is it's not set up to last. The way the spell the spell works is it makes a temporary place that you know, and that will inevitably collapse due to the fact that you probably don't have enough energy to create a permanent dimension that has its own.
I'm fairly certain that's what what's going to happen here. Either the Super Pops don't make it out, you know,
they just all die.
Exactly, yeah. Either they all die, or they escape and you no longer have to sustain the world because you know it was a temporary creation, possibly an illusion, and therefore it could just stay.
Illusions are different. Illusions aren't real, and they're normally projected over something that is real.
Yes.
Illusions aren't physical, which I actually had this beef when I was watching a Pokemon movie earlier today, where Zoroark's illusions somehow physically encased a bunch of legendary Pokemon that were struggling. Like, excuse me, your illusions can't physically encase someone. The way illusions normally work is you would go right through them through trying to touch an illusion that would either make it disappear or that would show the illusion isn't real. The only time illusions you could actually physically quote unquote interact with an illusion is if the illusion's being projected on something physical, say like a drone.
Mysterio, I guess.
Yeah, like again, the Spider-Man 2 from the MCU, with its illusions, drones were firing missiles, guns, and stuff. So if there's illusion of Mysterio summoning a bunch of bullets to go hit Spider-Man, that illusion was just covering a drone firing bullets at Spider-Man. Well, it wasn't actually causing bullets to hit Spider-Man. The illusion itself did nothing. Okay, the illusion was just masking something that was doing the harm.
I will say, not every version of Mysterio is like that, though. It is still canonically illusions within the world, but like, for instance, in Spider-Man 2, the game that recently came out, there's a bunch of Mysterio side missions where you have to beat up the illusion villains and whatever. They can very much just beat you up.
Yeah, that never really made sense. Granted, it's technically a video game, but like it's still kind of weird, and I don't really like that way of handling quote unquote illusions. Because it's not really an illusion at that point. You're just creating you're just creating reality.
Okay,
Even
but what
whether
if
you
it's
know it or
like
not, you're creating something.
yeah, but what if it's like illusions are only as real as your mind will believe them to be?
So,
So
the
it's more
Matrix rules then.
essentially, yeah, it's more of a mental blockage than a physical one that
That
manifests.
would also work. And considering that we're talking about magic here, then yeah, by all means, you can make the rules whatever you want. By the
I
way,
don't know. Again, I don't believe that magic you can just do whatever you want with or just create whatever you want
It
with.
depends
Because
on what type. There's
you
like
like
high and then there's low magic. That
the
are,
amount you put in is the amount you should get back. It shouldn't be I put in a lackluster amount of energy, effort, or I barely do anything, and then I get this, I don't know, say reality warping meteorite that's going to hit the earth and cause everyone to become giant reptile dinosaur people.
Can we do that? Wait, that's
by just saying the words so. And that's how it's going to happen. Because that makes
there's
no
a
sense.
lot of reality warping
Aiden,
meteors if that's
Again,
the case.
inherent reality.
Aiden, it's magic.
Yeah, but magic, everything that you do in magic should have an equal price, whether it be your energy, whether it be a high skill ceiling, whether it be something like that. They're all everything should come with a price, and magic should be somewhat defined. Like again, you shouldn't be able to do something ultra powerful without doing an ultra amount of effort, whether it be learning a certain kind of spell or something. Again, if I had the ability to kill anyone by just a glance, by doing a spell on myself that gave me the eyes to kill, and
That's
that was
just a
and
basilisk from Harry Potter.
yes.
That didn't take effort from it.
Yeah. Okay, but I don't really think Harry Potter has the best magic system. But if I was able to just sit down and be like, "Namaste." Okay, now whenever I look at people, they will die, and that's how it works.
I love your funny
and
words.
I just sit, and I'm a new magic user. I just see that word in a book, and then I do that spell, and then I just kill everyone. That doesn't work because that makes magic feel very trivial, especially when magic is used at multiple points in a story. So for the main protagonist, magic is the most difficult thing in the world. They're just starting magic. They're so hard to do the most basic thing. But a villain picks up magic for the first time. It instantly does magic. Instantly is so easy. Can do whatever they want. That gives an uneven playing field, and that makes magic to be a plot convenience and a plot thing.
I just don't agree.
The villain has actively got more experience in magic, and that was an example of what you were saying earlier. And the protagonist has to learn how to do their magic. That's why following their story along. The issue is if it happens the other way around. The protagonist has the easy time.
But I just think the notion of creating a world is a very dangerous thing, especially if you don't immediately state that world is a temporary thing.
No, hold on. I never state that in the canon of what I was referring to in my own example.
Well,
that is just a thing No, that's just a thing that I know out of universe, and therefore it would come into effect if it needed to.
I guess, but
I disagree though. I think that it is unfair to place a specific type of magic system on a project. I don't think...
like holding every single piece of fantasy and every single magic system to the exact same standard takes away the liberty of how to explore magic.
Right? And it would get so boring.
I guess, but the notion of being able to do anything of magic, whether or not you try or something,
Star Wars does
could get out. And I'm gonna say Star Wars kind of sucks in that regard, because Star Wars, again, being able to do whatever.
No, they can do whatever as long as they have established that it's a thing. That's where Star Wars' thing is, and I think that's one of those things that I would agree with an actual rule.
I'm not sure Star Wars always establishes everything before it happens.
No, because I'm pretty sure Force healing was in the latest. Force healing was established. It was introduced and established when I think Kylo Ren had to heal Rey.
Nope, decades sooner. Video games, books, comics.
Those comics aren't canon.
Doesn't matter.
They were decanonized by Disney. No, they were all decanonized, and also
doesn't matter. A, alternate universe. B, it was used later on in canon comics.
Also, just saying, the excuse of, oh, in this very obscure comic book, it was established
It's still
during
there.
this single issue, isn't a good excuse of, oh, it's been long established. Like, oh yeah, 20 years
Which it
ago
is.
in a poorly sold
Aren't
comic
you
that no one
aren't
knows.
you normally the same person who says that it's introducing something with like mild foreshadowing is a better thing than just introducing it as
Yeah.
the first time?
Mild foreshadowing and build up in the
That's
actual
pretty
media it's gonna
mild.
appear in. If it appears in the media you're presenting it in, if it's in
Yeah.
something, if it's in, let's say something's introduced in like a 35 chapter long 280 page book, and like it's a single line and it's introduced there, that doesn't count if we're talking about a movie that's in the same universe but not
just FNAF,
associated
though.
with it. Yeah,
That's just FNAF, though.
again, I have
FNAF
my
also
problem
has
with-
magic, actually.
I have my
Matt.
problem with the way FNAF is built as well. But the inherent lore, again, all magic inherently has a price.
I disagree.
Whether it be skill, energy, you can't just do whatever with magic, because
Disagree.
then that makes potential future stakes be eliminated from the story. Oh,
not if you're
someone's
consistent.
dead. Oh, just cast a little simple spell and they're alive. Oh,
Assuming you still have the book handy to you, because this is Celestia's book that's being borrowed. If
Yeah,
Disruptor doesn't
but,
have
like,
the book with him,
Bond, that's not
confusing
a
one.
theory about magic. The magic theory I mentioned, that's a theory. Magic
Hold
is
on.
confirmed
Can
as being canon in the books. That's a
All right.
thing expressed multiple times. Anyways, I disagree. I think the only type of rule, the only hard rule I will ever place for magic on a series is that you can do anything. You can do whatever you please. However, you have to be consistent once you already establish it. Once
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
say that
once
this
you set your
exists-
own rules and your own boundaries, that's when you start seeing like what the limitations are. That's why every
Yeah.
magic system is different.
yeah, once
but
you say
the-
this thing exists, that's fine, but you now have to build the world with that being a possibility, and you can't go back and say, "Oh, this is impossible." You have to be able to operate under this new status quo that you've established. Beyond that, you can make the magic system however you well please.
because that's why magic systems work best when when each thing comes at some form of a cost or requires something
Okay,
to
now
happen.
we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. You're saying it works best that way.
Because
which
when
may-
it
which may
doesn't,
well be
you
the case.
eliminate all stakes in a story. Because
You've already
again,
said that.
say
Yeah,
Wizards of Waverly Place was have a dramatic story where everyone was going to die, but then Alex is just like, oh yeah, I forgot, any spell I do, as long as I have the imagination for it and I just say the words, I can do it. Everybody immortal kiss. Bam.
That's
Oh,
but
everyone's
that's the role of a
immortal.
villain.
See, we're
isn't
good.
that kind of how it happens? Like they establish if you
Yeah.
say a rhyme properly, that it does manifest. That is
yeah,
actually how
which
it works.
again doesn't work as a concept because again,
In
imagine.
fact, I think you just described the movie of Wizards of
But-
Waverly Place. Actually,
Actually, the movie didn't really make much sense because Alex, in that context, used the Master Wand, which instead of just getting her, I forget the other normal wands, but even so, like their dad should have had his wand or something. Instead of getting someone to just undo the wish, it's like, oh, when it's been cast with the Master Wand, you can't just undo it. It's like, okay, but that's weird. Why? How does that work?
But that's not a
Why
failure on the magic system. That's a failure on the antagonist and world building. Again, once you establish that this is a thing,
But-
and as I
but the
previously
magic
stated, you
system-
have to be able to build the story around the fact that it now exists.
True, but the magic system is inherently a part of the world building. A magic system and world building go hand in hand.
Right,
when
but
you
they are
introduce
still
magic
separate.
into a
Once you
story, they're a part of the magic system is very much part of the world building.
Yeah, but once you have the magic, you now have to do the world building around that. I don't know that it could be the way around, sure, but you can't, they can't clash. That's my point. You can do whatever you want as long as it synchronizes. And if your magic system sucks, I hate to tell you, it's probably not the magic system. It's probably because you didn't set up a world that is consistent with it, or because you didn't set up an adequate enough foil to that character's ability with the abilities you have established within your story.
That is kind of what Aiden was saying about this, that it has the potential to mess itself up because of introducing something that's so powerful so quickly. The question, of course, now is, will it mess itself up? And that is what we're going to find out now. I finally have a segue back into the video. Thank you very much.
Caca.
You're welcome.
With this spell... Oh, sorry, I'm going into Dr. Ruin now.
With this spell, I doth create an alternate world in which the fate of these 6 people... Oh, why is it 6? Why can't it be 4?
Oh my god.
That's a fair question.
Oh, well, maybe one of them could be me so I can stop them.
Okay, but then who's the final person?
There's an extra person, but okay.
Anyway.
Continuing.
That's the. Why are you saying continuing in the middle of the spell? Wouldn't that interrupt the spell? If the spell is based.
He
off
already went
rhyming-
off on a whole
if
other
the-
tangent. If the
Yeah,
spell's gonna
wait,
be ruined,
did
it's
you-
already done, man.
Ruin your
There's
spell
no
by
saving
going off on a
this.
tangent and then saying continuing. That's not.
This
You-
is a fair question about
It's
the magic.
about
system now.
rhyming and
Hey, that's
keeping the
fair.
spell up. If I start saying a spell, but halfway through I start coughing, it's like, oh yeah, where was I? Oh right, and then I continue. I inherently ruined the spell, which it wouldn't work anymore because it would start
The
from
entire
the beginning.
plot of No Way Home.
The entire plot of Captain Underpants, the big bad battle bionic booger
Okay,
boy.
well, to be fair, No Way Home was the spell was constantly changing. Peter wanted the spell to constantly change while Doctor Strange was making it. or
Exactly.
while
So in this
activating
situation,
it.
something is being interrupted while the spell is actively being cast. It's the same
Yeah.
situation. Anyway,
Will turn
Although
out to
that
be
wasn't,
alive.
I mean, that was kind of Peter's fault. That also wasn't Peter's fault, but my beef with the movie in general.
it's not we're not talking about whose fault it
Yes.
is. We're talking about what happened.
I
The
love
spell was
Spider-Man. We've been
interrupted
over this.
while
Anyways.
being cast. It doesn't matter whose fault it was in that situation. That never came
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
Will turn out to be maligned. Trap them in this world forever.
So this world is immortal. You're creating an immortal world. Also, wait. if you're
Unless they are strong, wise, and clever, where they
Oh.
might find how to escape.
But I mean, at the same time, aren't you trapping? But wait, aren't you trapping yourself in that world though? Wait. You trapped yourself in that world too. You're including yourself in that. So you're trapping yourself. Are you wise, clever, and stuff?
He's
you
a
in this-
powerful but stupid villain. I think
This
that's
is
fine
the
enough.
yeah. This is the point where I should mention Disruptor is not the smartest of the
Yeah.
bunglers.
Which again,
none
I
of them
say
are particularly smart.
Doofenshmirtz, technically, according to the machines he builds, is like a genius. But also, the way he interacts with the things around him is just so dumb.
Precisely, yeah. So there you go. Oh, also, by the way, Eli sent me a picture like a long time ago of Disruptor from the Super Pops. I already know what he looks like, but this is a picture of him with
I
the beard,
don't.
incidentally. There you go.
Okay.
To the right. The one to
Oh.
the right.
Yeah,
Dr.
they
Doom's the one to the
probably-
left.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I see why the beard is. Granted, the beard in real life, I will say, the beard in real life is a lot more like stubble and less solid facial hair.
Do they
versus
Can't
have
find
the-
that in Gacha.
They
Yeah, I
don't
was
have
gonna say.
that. They don't have that in Gacha. But yeah. But unfortunately, in the Super Pops itself, it's a wig. So I think the beard itself is more understandable in that because I think he just didn't want to shave when he was putting on the wig.
That
Versus
is
in
true. He
here,
does appear-
versus here, it clearly doesn't look like a wig. It looks like it's actual hair.
Are you going to go through the editing and then make it apparent that it's a wig?
I mean, you can
no.
try.
I will.
Yeah, but
I'm
are you
gonna give-
actually going to do that? Like, if you
I'm
were
gonna
making
give
this series,
Eli-
would you do that, Aiden?
I'm going to give Eli full kudos here for the most accurate portrayal of Disruptor. Like, it's,
I mean, I would have just removed the beard, honestly, in real life. And this,
Nah. If we're going for accuracy, this applaud.
listen,
there you go.
unless you get
What?
the exact stubble, no, the beard looks weird. Anyways, what? No, they shouldn't escape.
Ah, yes, there you go. Aiden's mentality. If you don't get it 100% right the first time, don't bother.
No,
This
I
is
mean,
this
well,
is why we
okay.
had the whole conversation about
no, here's
taking
the-
risks with our series a while
No,
back.
no, no, here's
you're
the
just
thing.
afraid of
No.
messing it up the first time.
No, here's the thing. Accuracy is good, but you also need it to look good. And that's what I'm saying. If you can't find, like, you gotta
I
have it be
disagree.
accurate yet look good.
I don't know.
in the
I've been
medium
making
because
some
like
FNAF maps.
you're converting him into this medium. Therefore, you need to make that translation look accurate to the original, but also look good in the medium it is now, even if it's quote unquote accurate to what the original would have been.
I don't know, because I've been remaking some FNAF maps for a while now, and I'm pretty sure later material retcons this a little bit. But if you
how are you making FNAF maps?
By building them, it's Minecraft.
No, well, you didn't specify Minecraft.
And so and I gotta tell you, using FNAF 1 as the only reference and not taking into account any of the book descriptions or any of the VR stuff. If you only take the FNAF 1 cameras and monitor map, it is the ugliest thing on the inside because Scott did not care about the architecture, so it will just seamlessly change from like black and white to just pure black on or like white tiles to just black on the sides and only on like one corner on the left end. It's so ugly. It's accurate though.
Yeah, I mean, then again, there already are like a bunch of maps based on FNAF 1. Even Jason Bravura made one back in the day.
I'm just having fun in Minecraft, okay? Are we? I'm just.
All right. That's fine.
What? No, they shouldn't escape. I'm trapping them so that nobody else has to deal with their heroics. Oh, wait. That's why I'm going to be there to stop them.
So since you're moving the battlefield that you would have end up being on just to somewhere else forever. Now I've got a question. Like
genuine question. Let's say you do kill them. Hypothetically, what are you gonna do to get out of that world?
He's going to be clever enough to try and escape. I mean,
He's gonna die, I guess.
Oh God, he's gonna be trapped there forever.
I said before, he's not very smart. He doesn't know he's not very smart. He thinks he's very clever, so that's why he would not think of the situation that it's going to be a problem for him.
But I must stop getting carried away. Moving on.
Oh, so if you do want to spin off of this character, this is like the perfect setup. Because he'd be trapped, and if he's only able to escape if he's clever, he would be forced eventually to reconcile as to why he can't get out. And he'll have like a whole breakdown, and he'll be a character arc.
Isn't that Ludo's arc from Star vs. Force of Evil?
Unsure. Haven't watched it.
Actually, Ludo's arc is messy.
That's not what I asked.
I now trap them inside Swan Lake.
Oh God.
Swan Lake.
Swan Lake?
Come on, why didn't the spell do anything?
Oh, was it the other option? Swine Lake! Just sends into a world of pigs. This is the world of three little pigs. What the foe they're gonna have to face is just the big bad wolf.
Maybe it was Swine Lake.
Oh God, you're gonna...
I called it!
I'll try again. With this spell I doth create not a world with which to fate.
I will say, the reason is totally just because he cut himself off.
Yes, definitely.
Of these 6 people with my mind will turn out to be maligned. Trap them in this world forever unless they're strong, wise, and clever. Where they might find an escape, I now trap them inside Swine Lake!
Oh God. Swan. See? You just created an alternate world of ease. Also, I don't...
Yeah, and clearly he can do that.
What could I say? Some spells only require verbal components. Am I right, BB?
But I mean, hypothetically, if I was in this world, what could I get that book and just trap myself in a world of attractive men with relative ease And
you'd have to find a spell that matches with that if it happens to be on one of the pages, if there is a spell that aligns to it.
Also, if
And
you
also
know
you have to
how
break
no,
into
no,
the
no, no,
owner's
no, no, no,
base.
no. The spell was just to create a world, and with a clause of how to get out of that world. Actually, that's what the spell was. He just specified Swine Lake in relation.
It also requires 6 people to be trapped there, so you'd be trapped with like 5 of your peers, I suppose.
Well, I'll bring you there. We'll have fun.
You'll probably have more fun than I would.
Oh
But,
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I'll put some attractive women there too. You know, just for you.
Yeah, you get like 3 choices of women and take what you have.
Listen.
you
They're all
fun,
gonna be
Jacob.
really cool women, okay? They're gonna be the coolest.
Okay.
They're all gamers.
they have all the gamer girl with bathwater too.
Oh,
That's not cool. That's not
yeah,
a
I
cool
was about to
thing.
say that doesn't excite me.
Oh, you would love to drink the gamer girl with bathwater. Just a
I
minute.
absolutely would not.
Phoebe?
What makes you what on God's great green earth makes you think that I would want to drink bath water?
As a child, I accidentally swallowed regular bath water, and I wanted to vomit.
Okay, but like, what if she told you to drink it?
I would say no. Like, why would I listen in that situation?
I'm not a what? No.
It's like,
Baby,
oh, look, here's this
I
bath
know.
water. I say,
No,
ooh,
I don't
disgusting.
have a
Then she
foot
says to me,
water
drink it. It's
thing.
like, well, since you put it that way, I suppose I must.
Listen.
Pretty please, Jacob, will you? Oh, just for you, honey buns.
Only because you said pretty please. God.
I mean, you could actually
Gotta get my 2 liters in
the
here.
bath.
What? What did
You
you
can
say?
drink her bath water while she's in the bath.
That's not any different.
God, I already know which direction this is going. Skip to the video. Who cares about the segue?
The only difference is that it'd be slightly warmer. It hasn't cooled down yet.
This is
What
if
does
you
that
Warm
make?
water is nice. Warm water is nice. Anyways, let's keep
guys
going.
keep this going. We're getting 18 plus at some point.
Okay, yeah, that. All right, fair enough.
Oh.
Poof, isekai'd.
I missed you. Hey, is that a truck? Moi, 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 moi.
Oh, hey! Look at that.
Jacob! It's you!
And you're editing. Of course you are.
I might be writing, honestly. I mean, that's the thing that I've done in cafes
You're on
before.
call with me, writing.
Oh dear.
Hey, is this a background?
I do write outside of you, by the way, Aiden.
No, you only write with me now.
Hey,
Anyways.
is this a background in actual Gacha?
No.
No.
Okay, so that explains why there's also not an accent on the custom-made cafe board on the side.
I suppose. There's also I also like how I was actually like a little bit out of focus because I was in the background. You know, draw the camera to where you need it to be to look, I suppose.
I thought they just didn't have the accent before because I imagine it's just more difficult whenever you're typing it. But I thought if they're gonna make a custom board and everything, they would like draw it in. Evidently not.
How's Snuglet?
That how Sniglet is she recovered
Yeah, I
from
was about to
yesterday's
say we.
Listen, okay, I have that Watcher World.
How's your
thing
jaw
on my-
healing?
If anyone missed it yesterday on the Butter Bunch, we reviewed.
It was amazing. Okay, the
We reviewed
drama.
Nightmare Time Episode 1, Part 2, which was Watch
Hey,
Your World.
did you hear about that guy who almost broke his daughter's legs?
I did, because that
imagine
was
that's
also part of
many
the same
parents.
video.
Mm-hmm.
It is not, BB. If anything, I almost broke my own legs as a child. So my parents.
No,
were not
I
involved.
do think it's common because Aiden didn't say parent like dad who did. He said dad who almost did.
Yes, a common, a common relatable parental experience, almost breaking your child's bones. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're meaning to, but sometimes you take your eyes off and the kid tries to do something stupid, or maybe.
But that's the child breaking their own legs.
Yeah, that's not the parent almost breaking.
Okay, fine. How about a real example? Okay.
Please.
What, did your dad break your legs?
No.
Almost. No.
No. Actually, maybe he almost did. I don't remember. That's pretty in character, I think.
I don't know.
You asked. It's on you for getting into that detail, Aiden. So my brother, who did not almost break his child leg, but I will say, he does that thing, and I think a lot of parents do this, where like the kid, in this case it's called flying, where he'll like just pick up the kid and just start like launching him in the air and like up and down. If you miss aim or can't catch them in time, that can go very wrong very quickly. And I imagine many people have almost gotten there.
I don't imagine that many people have, just based on the fact that not everyone does the flying thing, but
it's pretty common though.
Within the flyers among the parents, I suppose. I suppose they've more often than not, some of them might have a few stories. Anyway,
hey, did your mom drop you on your head as a baby? No, she dropped me on my knees.
On my legs. Yeah.
Imagine that SpongeBob character saying that. My legs.
It's like, oh, and how did that go? Were you fine? Look at me in a wheelchair.
Dang, that'd be dark.
It's just like one of those like the camera cuts like the full landscape shots, and then you see like the full context. Basically, a lot of newspaper like 3-panel jokes. I'm loving it here. Wrong establishment. You can't say that. Copyrighted. Well, it is.
That's why here is part of it.
It is the best city in Germany.
I'm loving it. Here.
Oh, that's right. You can say loving with a G. That's okay. Anyway, I'm definitely biased. How's your new school? It's so awesome. I'm improving so much. That's great to hear. Have you made any new friends? Yes, particularly my dorm mates.
Yeah, we're all now superheroes called the Pops.
One is sassy and sarcastic. Oh, she could go with like the descriptions that Moana gave to Sebastian. One is super energetic and happy. Another one is quieter, but kind and thoughtful. And just like that, we have a group of Pops with distinct character traits. It took until Ballet Pops for that to happen, but we finally got there.
It also took until Ballet Pops to have decent character designs.
And I suppose angles and original musical numbers and prop imports. Basically, Eli improved a lot since the start of Jazz Pops, and I have not caught up with the time frame of the evolution. And they're all from different countries.
It'll be like that one SpongeBob episode whenever you're jumping between like Jazz and Ballet Pops, where in SpongeBob, right, the cops would like show him the picture of him with like in a wanted poster, but SpongeBob was too dense to realize that he was the criminal that they were hunting for, and so he was just terrified. And then they would lower and he'd be calm, and they just like keep raising it up and down. He'd like scream and get calm again over and over.
And of course, in the same situation, wasn't that the same episode where Patrick like is talking through a walkie-talkie trying to describe how the Maniac's moving? Yeah,
that's okay. The episode.
Got it. Maybe I'll see them one day performing with you. That'd be so cool. Has your uncle been chasing you since you've been here?
Wait, what?
That was a plot from episode 1, because her uncle wanted to. They've said like the eldest in every generation has to take over the family business, and that was a whole thing. So.
Oh, yeah. Good. I got at least you didn't want to harvest our organs.
No, of course not. That would be complete out of left field, wouldn't it?
Listen, okay? Harvesting or camping out here harvesting organs happens, okay?
Hmm.
You don't understand.
I do, because I was there when you wrote it. Anyway.
Listen, I had a much worse idea initially. That was the tame version of what.
Okay.
I'm not even joking. That is actually the tame version, technically.
I was gonna say there's like I can think of like a few ways that could have been like a worse plot, but I don't want to say them out loud because I'll get demonetized.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying that out loud.
Okay. Anyway, I took a storyboarding class at the end of last year and learned about angles of what they mean and how to use them. Brilliant, yeah. Because like I say, it all comes down to film theory, like I said in the tutorial.
That's just a theory, a film theory.
Speaking of that video.
What my tutorial video, the Gacha
No,
one?
the new game theory video.
But we weren't speaking of that video. We spoke about it at the beginning of the
No,
episode.
you made a thing that he referenced in it.
No, I didn't make a thing that.
No, he referenced what you guys just did.
Oh, the whole.
Oh,
thing.
okay,
It's a
fine,
theory, a film
yes.
theory,
I'm
yeah.
not
Okay.
crazy, guys. I swear I know what I'm talking about.
You're a little bit crazy, but that's why
It's
we
just-
love you.
It was the wording, BB. It's like we're missing like essential wording in there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see why. Especially since he must still be upset about his store was robbed. You heard about that?
I will also give props. Different cakes or pie. It's cakes, I think.
Yeah, different cake slices.
Which is nice. It's nice to see them just not recycle the same thing because it's quick and easy.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they
my
could have
papa
very
thought-
easily used the thing and just mirrored it.
Mhm. Yeah, my papa thought it was the best thing ever. They were apparently superheroes, but all they did was stand there and do nothing.
I know it'd be a little bit more effort, but I do wish we got to see like the bartender. I don't know what they'd be called.
A
move
barista.
around. Barista. Yeah, there we go. That's the word. But no, I wish we got to see him move around a little bit in the back.
Yeah, kind of. So I pretty much found cosplayers and thought they were the real ones. Or maybe they're really experienced and they haven't been given much training. Are we doing this? Are we doing the superhero trope of love interest doesn't like superhero alter ego but likes the actual person?
Probably.
I, for the record, like that trope.
I mean, okay, I will say I do agree with BB. I do like that trope too, but at the same time, I will say it is overplayed trope.
Sure, but it is a
over-
nice dynamic, and if
I like
done
the trope
right,
when it-
then, you know.
I hope, but it has like a reason to exist. Kind of like here,
Okay,
it
that's
seems like there's something because like some of the time you just get like it's got like yes, you know, what name of superhero here is so pompous and up themselves and blah blah blah. You know, they do nothing for the good of the people. They always cause more destruction than they fix and everything else. And I will never like
Yeah.
them. I'm too stubborn to change myself, and you can never change my mind. So
I like the way Spider-Verse did it because it was like, oh my god, you just killed my brother. What is wrong with you? But then it's his son.
The whole
okay.
Uncle Aaron thing.
Yeah, remember he thought Spider-Man like killed Uncle Aaron for a little bit in the first movie.
Okay, well, I thought, yeah, but he said like Spider-Verse, I was thinking like, I thought like just like regular Spider-Man, and then it
recent
was like,
one.
oh, J. Jonah Jameson, because that's
No.
well,
I mean the
is-
like the first
he does
animated
become-
Spider-Verse.
he does become a love interest as some. Oh wait, no. Anyway,
I mean more so loved one. Love interest is fine as well, but I'm more so expanding it to loved one because I think the trope plays out the same.
okay. Well, whoever they are, I'm not asking them to come and rescue me. Now,
Why?
Anyway, but
Why though?
Because he doesn't trust them. He doesn't seem to think
I
that
mean,
they're
I
reliable.
guess, but I mean, I wouldn't ask them. But if they offered to save my life, I wouldn't complain. I'd be
I
like,
will
okay,
also say
you can save my
that
life. I'm cool with
Aiden,
you.
he's saying asking them to come and rescue me, so
Oh.
they would not be there at the time.
I will also say that when did this come out?
Yesterday.
Like 20 hours ago.
Okay, cool. So they don't go into this enough in the pops because I think the pops are a little bit afraid to get into serious issues like this. Also, partially because I don't think it's necessarily thematic. It's a little bit too serious for the themes to go on. But I do think it's an interesting point because from his perspective, I would kind of agree because we're at a point where altruism is simply too good to be true in most cases. So if you have someone who is going out there and it's like, and everyone's thinking they're fantastic and they're putting on this like, look at me, I'm a literal superhero thing. Admittedly, valid enough reason to be suspicious at this point.
It's like every Superman plot. Anyway, I'd much rather the cops.
Oh god! Oh yeah, like they're much better. Okay.
I will say that's
Listen,
probably
no.
why Superman's arch nemesis is a rich
Okay.
evil capitalist.
Newsflash, I would trust a superhero over them. Okay, listen, yeah, sure. Okay, listen.
I don't know. For me, it depends. If I'm faced with like some sort of like supernatural entity or something, by all means bring the person along who has powers. If I'm just being mugged in the streets, I'm fine with a police officer showing up and doing the job. Like,
yeah, it
doesn't matter.
Mr. Beast actually is kind of a good example of this, right? Because for a while, because regardless how you say it, he was.
I'm dangling off of a building right now. First one to rescue me and fly in gets $1 million.
Well, no, because because he really was giving out real money, as far as we're aware, to people sometimes in actual need, right? That is a good thing. I don't know that any of those people would have turned it down. However, we are now aware of some more shady practices he's gone into, and he's not quite as altruistic now as he puts on his videos. So it's one of those things where, in a real life standpoint, he is kind of like how the pops should be perceived in this world by some people.
Mm-hmm. I guess the best example, would be like someone like Mr. Rogers, for example. Everyone thought that he had like some sort of like shady, like undercover thing that there's something underlying about him. Well, like he was out for himself or whatever. It's like, no, just nice guy.
Yeah, I remember. I don't want to derail it too much, but I did.
There's a whole movie about that apparently that my dad told me about.
Ooh, but no, I remember watching an old video, and it's just like a really old clip of him going to a board of I don't know, a school board, governor board, I don't know, to really like push for funding for his show. And he presented his reasoning, and like it was so like good-hearted and altruistic that it made like the guy he was talking to like try, like they was pitching to, actually cry a little bit.
I guess in that situation, he did have like something to gain from being extremely nice.
He did, and admittedly, he could have lied, but the reasoning that he presented went down to basically, hey, I'm teaching these kids what he taught on his show, right? And I believe in it, and more people should be teaching it, and kids aren't knowing as well as they should, and yada yada.
I mean, what I meant was like in that specific example where I was talking about like, oh, he doesn't have it out for himself. Like, I mean, in that case,
sure, but like I think the reasoning was altruistic.
Yeah, in the end, okay. So yeah, sometimes you do get those people, but yeah, we've got right to be suspicious. But either way, like I can see his point again about cops and whatever. Anyway, but I will always protect you and save you. I mean, that's a fair point. Juliet did say that he protects her. This is the first time that we've seen him, I think, unless I'm remembering wrong from previous episodes.
Maybe.
So
I
what
mean,
does, what
I
does
mean,
he
if,
do? What situation was he required to step in and protect her that we don't know about? Is my
I
question
mean,
now.
I will say I do find it weird how the way he was introduced. If this is his first introduction, I don't know if it is or isn't. But if this is his first introduction, I find it weird that we're introduced to him as like, oh, there you are, I love you, and then there's like, oh, I love you too. It's like, it's like all lovey dovey and like super optimistic. I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like a more like down to earth, calmer introduction would be better than. It feels over the top.
The difference here is that they seem to already be like fairly like established amongst themselves. Like they've been dating for a while. They're on a date right now. We've talked about that earlier. But it's not like this is like their first date or anything. At least it doesn't seem to be. So, I mean, yeah, they probably have built themselves up to this particular point in their relationship.
Yeah, but as an audience member, we don't know much about them, so that's why I'm saying it. Because from an audience perspective, I feel like we're being thrown into something
And
we haven't.
Speaking of being thrown to something we haven't seen before, he's been isekai'd.
Wait, why him though? Was it just because he was near one of the pops? Was like everyone else not near anyone else? Or
well, you got to have a sixth person, right? Why not choose a random guy that Disruptor's never met before? I thought what was going to happen was that like during the hug at the beginning that they were going to get teleported then because
I feel like that would have worked better because then you actually have physical contact between the characters and not just a general close proximity. Because
that is what I was about to say, yes.
Hypothetically, instead of him being teleported, it could have been like someone else in the cafe that she was just sitting at like a millimeter closer to, like a micro inch.
Why would she be sitting a micro inch closer to anyone in a cafe than the person she's on a date with?
Because there's multiple people in the cafe. All I'm saying is the distance just has to be just slightly closer to another human being, and that person will be teleported instead.
Yeah,
but
the problem in this situation, of course, is that it's like targeted at her specifically. All of the ballet pops were targets in this situation. So if they were close to anyone else at that time, that person would have been teleported in.
Yeah,
that's why physical contact thing would have worked way better. Anyway, ow! Did someone pull my chair from out under me, or? And also change the entire skyline and put me outside where the wind is actually hitting me right now?
Yeah, did someone take my chair from under me and then drug me?
Mm-hmm. Like bring me here. It's like Now You See Me Too. They just like end up in China. Anyway. Huh? Where am I? Why am I wearing different clothes? Juliet? Uh-oh. What happened to you? Where are you? I can't let you go missing. I must protect you. You're the one in danger right now. Oh no, what if I got knocked out and placed here because she was kidnapped? How about,
I think you're kidnapped.
Why wouldn't you be the one who's kidnapped if you've been like knocked out and taken somewhere else against your will?
I guess he doesn't care about himself at all, which is kind of strange, but okay.
It's not like the original Romeo had much self-preservation. Let's be honest, guys. He took one glimpse at his girlfriend, didn't bother to check the pulse, or a heartbeat, I guess, would be probably their first instinct at that time period.
Yeah.
And just assumed she was dead and immediately killed himself.
Well, I didn't think he was smart.
No, but he also wasn't, he just didn't have a lot of self-preservation. I think this is a established part of Romeo's character.
Okay, but also remember, this isn't the same.
This isn't literally. The name's just the reference. He's not actually Romeo. God,
I don't know about that.
He's not Romeo.
I guess going back to what we were saying before about like adding references, this is the double-edged sword that some audience members think that because you're referencing a character with the same name, that they have to act exactly identical.
Yeah. Also, by the way,
okay, they also then
biblical
immediately
Lilith
established in the
isn't
very beginning how
associated-
eerily similar their relationship dynamic was.
Well, yeah,
No,
because
they just established that they have the same names. That was all that they really knew at the time.
okay, so let's compare it to something in the Munich Girl. Sebastian and Olivia. We even made a joke about that in, I think it was like episode 2 of season 2, where it was acknowledged, hey, wait a minute, your brother thinks Sebastian, he's dating Olivia? Ooh. It's just
Yeah.
a Neff reference. It's a reference to a play. That's all. Nothing more. Not
Yeah, if Sebastian were like the actual Sebastian from 12 Nights, then he would have a twin sister rather than like a much younger one.
unless Morwenna was pushed out the womb several years late.
What, she would have still have grown the same amount.
Nah, she didn't grow in the womb. It was like hibernation for her.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Oh, so if you get materials who went, I shall be your knight in shining armor.
Oh my god! Really? I guess this guy has no self-preservation.
And I shall make those kidnappers pay. I think maybe Julia is like his first girlfriend, and so he's like really, really like overcompensating.
Oh my god. Like, you're alone, dude. Stop embarrassing yourself, please.
That is true. He is talking to no one right now. He can just like actively go look for her right now. He doesn't need to declare this to the world. Unless I'm being overly dramatic and overthinking everything.
Well, okay. Okay, so, okay, in a situation like this, you need to sit down and look at the facts.
He's got no chair anymore.
Okay, you need to stand and look at the facts. Jeez. Okay, so I was on a date with my girlfriend in a cafe around people, but then the next moment I get teleported here, and I'm just here randomly wearing different clothes and a different thing. I need to so now I need to find her and find out where I am and learn more about the location. And not go making a bunch of assumptions, but just generally assume that me and her are both in danger, and potentially others are involved, whether they caused this or are here taken alongside me. That you gotta like in a situation like this, you gotta sit down and actually analyze what the problem is in the situation you're in.
Analyze.
And how best to perceive in a calm and orderly fashion. Like if you're lost in the woods, you got to be calm about it. You can't just start running around and screaming about it. You have to be calm.
Just whatever you do, don't take 15 minutes like Aphmau did.
Yes.
I'll just ask around and try to get some answers.
Yeah, see?
Hey, sorry to bother you. Have you seen a girl in a white and lilac shirt and purple
Why are you
skirt?
not questioning where you're at and who you're talking to?
Yeah, like unless the palace was like right, like adjacent, but even then, you at least like think like, whoa, I'm at a palace.
It's a big door.
I'm definitely not in Stuttgart anymore.
Oh man, that was such a good reference to make here.
I suppose. She has a purple bow in her hair. All details that we saw her apply before in the close-up, I guess. Oh, and her hair's brown, and she's really pretty.
Okay, well, I don't think the really pretty part's gonna help, but you know.
My, has young Siegfried finally found love?
What? Who?
Him. That's like I'm
Is
guessing I'm guessing that's the name of the prince in Swan Lake.
Oh, so a role playing. I see. Or, well,
Wait, is that a reference to Norse mythology?
no.
It's
It's
I
a
think a reference
reference
to
to Swan Lake.
Swan Lake. Yes, the place that we're in right now. Or
Oh,
Swine
okay.
Lake.
Well, because there's a Siegfried in Norse mythology.
I'm sure there is.
Oh no, I was right.
Sorry. Yes, it is to which one of us, Norse mythology or Swan Lake? There we go. See, there we go. I was right. Thank you.
Oh.
What do you mean, finally? You're trying to deny your feelings, aren't you? Not really. I'm dating her.
We all know you hate her.
No, not right now. That's the that's the animated version. That's 1992 movie. This isn't my idea of fun. Anyway. Oh, silly Siegfried. Siegfried? What? Who is Siegfried? Why, you, of course. She's not questioning why he seems to have amnesia.
Well, I mean, I think she just thinks he's playing a joke on her, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, I get it now. You've had too much to drink already.
Oh god, how old is his character? How old is his character? Is he playing a 21-year-old or an 18-year-old?
Does it matter? They're presumably in the past, and he's 13.
Oh god.
he is 14. Romeo is 14.
Sorry, even older than what you could probably drink as already.
He's already a man.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, give him until he's like 17. He can be out looking for a wife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, they probably got married around 13.
I think that's actually what is happening in the plot of this. He's looking for a wife or something.
No, 13 is if you're a woman. Men tended to hook up with younger women at this point in time.
We love it when
Clearly a
men
trend of
go
the
for
past.
younger women to
Yes.
manipulate them.
What party? Your 21st, but oh, there we go.
Oh.
Okay, so he
Hey,
has.
never
aged up.
mind. I guess we're going by modern rules then.
Wait, then wouldn't he have noticed his body have grown or changed? Because, like, listen, someone's body, when you have your body at 13 is way different than your body at, like, 20.
Actually,
21.
I can vouch for this. In my studies of 12th Night, actually going back to the Sebastian example, it's actually, as you confirm, like in the past, puberty actually like hit you like later than it did now. That might have been to do with like quality of life or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. But either way, it was like it was almost like a slower aging, and then you just died earlier anyway, so it didn't really matter. And that is also the reason why it is so easy for Viola to do an impersonation of Sebastian, because she just says like, "Oh, I guess you're, I guess I haven't gone through puberty yet, or you're a eunuch." I think that's also she disguised herself as Cesario Orsino's eunuch, and that's like, okay, a convenient excuse. And then actual Sebastian comes along and presumably would sound exactly the same, so therefore the ruse is still kept up. Okay, so the ballet starts with Siegfried's 21st birthday party.
Where's the pigs, though?
That comes later.
I don't think we got to that yet. We're in the very early parts of this.
I want the swine.
We are still halfway through this video. We've been ranting on for too long.
Swine.
Although I will say this alternate reality would work better as a permanent trap for them if he gave them all amnesia and made them play the role of the story and kept them in their roles in the story, rather than and then actually having having memories of their previous life. Because what he could have did is like, so when you sucked in a 6-person, like the 4 pops got their role in the story, and he got his role as a villain, but he had his memory. But he wasn't anticipating the other person being there, so that person kept their memory, which would make it completely awkward to interact with people, the other pops and stuff, because they're just playing the role of the story that they were given, rather than actually having the memory. Maybe that's a fair question.
If the pops do have amnesia, it's because they would have been targeted by this. But then again, amnesia was not specified in the spell. So Disruptor would have been able to.
So was role playing. Role playing also wasn't specified in the spell.
Okay, but then again, if we're going by, I'm trying to establish the limitations of the magic here, Aiden.
Well, what are the limitations of the magic? I mean, I
thought what was in the spell, the wording of it.
Yeah, but clearly from this example, not all of it is limitations based off the spell.
Lady, I'm 14, almost 15. I'm Romeo, not some
You are 17, going on 18. Actually, I'm 23. It's a meme.
No, it's not. That's from a musical. That definitely didn't start as a meme.
Well, it got memed on, okay? It was used as a meme places. Jeez.
Don't speak about yourself like that to your mother. Mother? It sounded like Donkey in Shrek 2. Oh no, it was Shrek the Third. Huh? You know what? Oh no, it was Shrek 2. Anyway, you know what? I'm just going to find my way inside before I forget what Shrek movie I'm referencing.
It's like
thanks.
it's like Back to the Future. Now that you've already changed things in the past, your memories are starting to slip.
Well, it's time travel. This is an alternate reality.
Except for in Back to the Future, then whoever travels back does not lose their memories at any point. They lose themselves, they almost disappear, but they never lose their memories of where they came from. The door is literally right there.
Yeah, how did you miss that?
Yeah, I knew that.
How do you miss that?
He's nervous.
It's a giant door.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, Siegfried. I hope you find a bride soon.
I'm
Wink.
14. Why would I find a bride? I'm 14.
Siegfried, have you noticed my exposed legs in this time period?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's
look,
very.
Look
yeah, that's
at
very
look at my
scandalous.
shoulders, Siegfried. Aren't they great? they're so they're
Why
so
don't I
exposed
lift
for
up my
you.
leg and you can check out my ankles?
What do you mean lift up? There's almost nothing to lift anymore.
Why don't you get a better look at my ankles?
Oh man, you know, I even have a push-up bra just for you.
I don't know if those. Well, I don't.
I don't
they
know.
exist?
I guess you know what? We'll just say it's the corset.
Look at my corset. Isn't my waist so small? I'm gonna look like an hourglass soon.
Soon, the idea of a corset is to look like an hourglass in the moment.
Yeah.
A corset doesn't shrink you down biologically. It's
Listen, I don't know how women's clothing works. Why you act like I do? I've never wore it.
At this point in
because
time,
you're actively referencing them.
I will say at this point in time, that's not even necessarily women's clothing. That's just straight up clothing, period.
True.
Okay.
That was a differentiation that happened a little bit later.
Yeah. Back to this. Is that
Hey,
BB
BB, look, you're in the
background
back.
there?
I so am.
there?
You're so right.
Yeah, see, this you're dressed appropriately for the times.
Yeah, I'm not just showing my ankles to just anybody.
Yeah. Those ankles are for your husband and your husband alone.
Who may or may not be Siegfried if this goes well.
Oh boy.
And your husband, who may or may not be 18, while you're like 14.
He's 21. Siegfried is 21. They established it twice.
Biologically, not mentally.
Please choose me.
Oh, okay, desperate much?
There
Well,
goes the subtlety.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. See you at the ball. Is this not the ball? The room right now? I thought we were. It's the 21st birthday party.
No,
and
this is
ball
the
are different
welcoming.
scene.
This is the welcoming room. The room right over is the ballroom.
It's just like a void. I just want to go home. Do you not live here? Oh, I guess. Wait, no, he doesn't think he's Siegfried. Sorry, I blanked.
Someone's forgetting which series we're watching.
I'm losing my memories of
You're
the times
starting
before.
to think the artificial reality is a real reality, or this alternate
Yeah,
reality.
the spell's working on me and not him. Anyway,
But I mean, wait, how does this alternate reality work? Like, for example, if these characters were to hypothetically escape this reality and go back to their own reality, would the reality completely collapse on itself because maybe this reality itself is only working because all the characters' life forces are using to power this alternate reality. So as long as they're in it, it will stay alive.
This
and their
isn't
life
Rick's
force
battery.
Well, no, but like your life energy or like your soul itself could be powering this alternate reality by just existing in it and keeping it around. But if you take out the power source, it may collapse. Or what if they leave this reality and the actual characters from the play that look like them replace them and end up just going along. Or if they leave, does that mean the characters that they're role playing as have left that reality? So now there's just a bunch of missing holes in this reality that continues to exist after this point.
I'm gonna go with the third option, actually. Well, not say like the holes. Let's say like the character
The
in
real
that reality
Siegfried is just
is
running
absent.
around in our world.
No, the real Siegfried doesn't exist because he is Siegfried in this reality.
Yes. Okay. So what I was saying before was that like I don't think they would leave, if the characters left, they would leave like a hole in reality. There would be like a cutout of a shadow
Well,
of the
you
person's
know,
outline,
well,
but they would be absent. So the character
Yeah.
in that reality would be absent until such time as they would return.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Imagine that's how they definitely can't do this at this point. There's
I
surely
actually
be
have
a
a book.
retcon.
I was actually writing a book series about like the similar concept to this.
What if what if they disappear? Because are you saying it's just an outline? Made me think. Imagine that's how shadows work in this world. It's just people that were sent off to other like worlds, and so the shadows are what remains of their physical form.
That would only work if this world had existed for longer than a minute.
And question, do all these people at the party who haven't been kidnapped into this world, are they real conscious people or are they puppets? The world
Remember Ghost Channel?
Yeah. But Xana
Basically
wasn't,
that.
but no, here's the thing. Xana was in control of that world the whole time and programming it constantly and running the program throughout it. In this case, it's a magical spell that presumably he isn't constantly casting or constantly sitting there maintaining.
Yeah. So the magic
Therefore-
sustains it. The magic controls what is going on, and the magic gives them as much autonomy as it needs to.
But like, say all the main characters who aren't from this world leave a room. Does this world sustain that character, or does it like put that character in a dormant state until one of the characters that it didn't create come in the room, and then takes it out of that dormant state because now it's necessary to use that character only in that character in the world itself only runs to other people unless someone who
That is
isn't from that world
that is a fair question. However, there was no physical way they would ever find out about this because whenever the main character would enter a scene, that would be completely nullified. So there's no possibility, there's no situation where they would find out the answer to that question.
Okay, but I mean, it could be stated by the creator. Okay, the creator could state that.
Yeah, but we could. Yeah, but death of the author and all that.
Well, Eli, what do you think? Since this is clearly where we've descended to at this point, is that how that world works or not? And also, hello to Crystal 702 animators. Why do girls want me so much? Because you're a bad boy. Why is everyone calling me Siegfried?
Oh my god.
I'm so confused. I mean, he wouldn't think that his first response would not be, "Oh, I'm in Swan Lake." Like, he has to work that out.
To be fair, I'm in Swan Lake. I mean, I don't feel like most people know the story of Swan Lake. I mean, I know it vaguely from the movie, but I don't know it that much.
That's not the point. If you suddenly woke up in a world that you didn't recognize and someone called it by a different name, you wouldn't know why and how that had happened until like far later.
True, but if I knew the property that I was in, then I would be able to know more, and I would be able to figure it out a lot sooner. And I would be able to actually go along with it because
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm sure if you see the Winchester brothers, you'll be like, "Oh, of course, I know exactly where I am now." Precisely what scene?
Sort of, depends on if it's original content or non-original content. But yeah, although granted, my interaction would inherently change what initially happened, so the knowledge I have wouldn't be as relevant.
This is the plot of the book that I was talking about before, where the main character is able to go into stories, but as soon as he enters like a collection of grim fairy tales, he like immediately crash lands into the Frog Prince, which stops the meeting from that of that princess. So suddenly, after like conducting a rescue mission, they have to try and find the princess, but they're too late. So they come across the next story in Grim Fairy Tales, Cat and Mouse in Partnership. They invite to stay there. More shenanigans happen. Butterfly effect keeps on increasing. The party carries on. The more the more like disruption actually occurs. Simply by being there. I love butterfly effect. I love whatevery. So, yeah, very much what I was thinking of in that situation. What are you confused about? Oh, you wouldn't understand. You're just one of the ballet pops, and I don't like you, so I'm not going to trust your intelligence. You're just here to tell me happy birthday, aren't you? Romeo, your birthday's okay, so here is where I have to say one of the rules, to go by authenticity of source material, one of the biggest rules that the super pops are bound by, and presumably all the other pop groups too, is that they never tell anyone their identities. Some people have worked it out, admittedly, but they don't just like casually be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're both up for 2 months. I know your birthday. You definitely know who I am, and I also know your real name." Kind of a giveaway.
I
They don't
guess.
their own
Okay, but
rules
to be
cut
fair,
off.
in this scenario, you probably would have to tell him because you're kind of put in a situation where if you don't tell him, it's going to be very awkward and going to be hard to work around that constantly.
Not necessarily. It could be like, okay, you've been trapped inside the world of Swan Lake. I'm here with my friends, the ballet pops, and we're here to rescue you.
But like they're just as trapped as him. They don't know what they're doing. But like I feel like this interaction, I would change it slightly to be her going up to him and asking him a question or like saying his name like Romeo. You know, and to see
Oh,
if
like a
he
Freudian slip, yeah, because of course you're not meant to see him there.
yes, or like finding some way maybe like test to be like, hey, how do you feel about cafes? You know, or like find some way to like see if it's
Like
actually
jazz.
him. Like the idea of trying to see if it's actually him and not just someone who looks like him, but like if it's fully him, be like, is it you?
Of course, yeah. I will say, in Ballroom Pops, Johnny broke this rule immediately, like in the first episode. But that's getting revived. That's gonna get retconned. When people audition for it, don't think I've forgotten. Wait, did you just call me Romeo? Yeah, why wouldn't I? Does she not know that she's transformed?
Have you not been talking to anyone at the party?
Does she not know she's transformed right now?
Wait, I don't get it though, because I mean, like I feel like she would have talked to someone else at the party besides just him. Like like she didn't ask around, or she didn't look at her clothes, or look at like everyone else's clothes. Like everyone's wearing freaking ball gowns. Like you're not
Potentially
gonna
she
walk
would have,
around and ask questions.
Potentially she would have asked other people, but then again, it's not like she would have actually had like a response. Then again, she does seem to be like eerily calm about this. It's like, oh, why are you confused?
Yeah, I feel like in this situation she should be a lot more panicked and confused. Like,
Yeah, she too
I mean,
should be
obviously
confused.
calculated and being able to stay somewhat level-headed, but at the same time, being confused and actually being, you know, and like being like, okay, I need to figure out what's going on. Maybe talk to people, kind of feel around to see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Question: Why?
Yes.
They're ballet pops, so
Yes.
I mean, I guess they don't have to necessarily, but I feel like it would only make sense that someone of the main cast eventually of these six should know this story, right?
They're still reacting to the world they've just been thrown into.
Yeah.
Unless someone gives them the exact information they would need. I mean, I guess like Siegfried's 21st birthday party would be like, oh, that kind of sounds like Swan Lake. Maybe one of them would have made the connection. It might not be Juliet. The other pops are trapped here too, presumably. Honestly, there's one who's literally named Odette. I'm surprised she's not the main character of this story. I'm flabbergasted that you have that's not a connection. Anyway, I found someone who isn't crazy. I remember meeting you before, though you do look familiar. You look like someone I have very strong opinions on that I just talked to my girlfriend about, but I have not met previously.
Imagine this is just commentary. This is someone who does not have any real opinions on them. They are just that a bunch of the other people in the world have strong opinions against them, and so now he just kind of allowed himself to adopt those opinions. That way, he's accepted.
You know what? This is the new evolution of the love interest that hates alter ego trope. It's not fueled by like the actual hatred. It's fueled by Twitter.
It's it's actually social commentary.
Where have I seen
Where have you seen
before?
before?
Hello, it's me, your girlfriend, Juliet.
Okay, it's exposing yourself immediately.
Exactly. How'd you not know who I was? Well, I'm sorry.
You're
Normally-
transformed into pop! Like, isn't like your eye... I forget if the eye color is different, but like the hair color and like the whole outfit and like the whole vibe is different.
Yep.
Maybe the voice.
I mean, look at me. Why have I changed into this? What has become of me? Oh no, I didn't realize I was wearing this. How did my clothes change? How did I, a magical superhero, have changing clothes into this exact outfit? This has never happened before. Don't worry, Juliet. I changed clothes too.
So did I. I change clothes all the time.
I was just as confused as you when I saw myself wearing different ones.
And why do you look like one of the ballet pops, by the way?
But I must say, it's an odd outfit we changed into.
Also, by the way, I'm surprised she didn't look at her clothes as soon as she woke up, because like you don't like look at the skirt and like notice that your sleeves are different or maybe your clothes feel a bit different.
What was she wearing
Like-
as a bottom?
He found out.
A different skirt, but it was like a shorter skirt.
Oh,
It was like a shorter skirt, and the colors were slightly different. It's like, but you don't immediately look at your outfit and be like, "Wait a minute, this is odd."
She definitely didn't have those shoes before.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very purple, unlike BB in the background.
Also surprised BB isn't wearing red.
What are your style?
I do have a red dress actually.
Lady
Nice.
in red. Anyway, I've seen that outfit somewhere.
Oh my god, you're a freaking pop!
Mm-hmm. Oh, I knew where. Hello, Display Box Studio.
That's Ghosty.
I saw someone on the news wearing that.
That's Ghosty.
Okay,
It's her
Guess this-
studio name.
guess this wedding would make sense. Her skirt was pretty much the same, just lighter shade of purple. Okay, there we go. It was in a photo of a new superhero group. What do you mean, the new superhero group you were just talking about moments ago?
Yeah, weren't you just ranting about them? Like, did you forget that you hate them? God, how do
Yeah.
you forget so fast?
It was called a BAM group or a splat group or a pop group. Should have been snap group, crackle group, or pop group. But anyway,
Snap, papple, crockle, popple, popple. Boople.
thank you for repeating and butchering my joke. Something like that.
Caca! No, wait, the caca pops! The caca pops! Okay, we're oh my god. So they're all different words of caca. So we have like ka, and then we have caca. The ka. We have tweet pop. We have what
Chirp
else?
pop,
We have chirp pop. Yes.
Twitter pop. That's an actual onomatopoeia, like a bird Twitter. That's why
like Twitter pop. She
That's the
cancels
reason-
people. She
that's the reason for
tweets
that
all
logo.
day and cancels people.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Okay, but no, I want cacao pops now.
No. Then they were at your uncle's store when it was robbed.
Why are you saying that so happily?
And they were the ones that just stood there.
Dang! Roasting them.
Did Romeo watch my last review? Because I feel like I might have said that in a previous review of this series.
Like, oop.
I guess I was in the cafe. Come to think of it, the purple one did look somewhat like you. You're one of them?
Oh my god, it took you that long to realize it?
You went to your uncle's store and stood there?
that's the only reason he hates you. That's the only
I mean, sure, you didn't tell me about your identity, and we're in a relationship. We should tell each other. We should be honest with each other. Well, I'm not mad about that. You can lie to me all you want, but I'm offended on your uncle's behalf. Your poor uncle, who we've established not a good person and was chasing you, and I know why you don't like him. How could you do nothing in that situation?
Listen, I mean, honestly, at that point, I would have helped if I were her. I would have helped. I would help the robber. Just like.
She's still smiling. It's like, what was being robbed? She's like, yep, and I would do it all over again.
Oh, God.
I have zero regrets. Juliet, what got into you?
Majesty.
Revenge.
Majesty.
Revenge.
Oh, I was thinking Majesty, technically.
When I saw him, I panicked and froze. Oh, now she reacts like she's not happy.
Yeah.
Plus, it was the only second time he had to go out and stop anyone. We haven't had any real training either, so I don't know what to do. Again, that's also one thing I like about this is that we actually, since we got to see the origin of this group and we actually see them how they all came together. Most pop series start with the group already established and already working. Even the source material did this. So
Except for the one new pop.
I think yes, exactly. So I think I said this at the time, but just in case I didn't, I like that the new format of like, okay, we'll start from the very beginning of them and we'll go forward. Ballroom pops again, similar. Not just moment he gets flustered or embarrassed or nervous. Ah, okay. So it's a character trait. I like that more.
I mean, I like that more than a lot of the pop stuff I've seen. Because like a lot of times they smile no matter what, and just sit there and smile like, okay.
They don't sit there. They stay there and pose one.
They sit there and pose one with like smile. I don't know, it was like smile 4 or something, or like the mouth 4 or something.
Something along those lines. I will
just
say,
sitting there.
I haven't seen that many. I haven't seen that many pose ones in here, if any at all.
Yeah,
in this episode.
no, I mean, pretty impressive, especially because of the
We are basically all thrown into this. Can you sue your leader for superhero training neglect or something?
I think Majesty will like teleport to the ether if we do that.
I mean, Majesty is a princess, so she might have some sort of like royal immunity. That's a thing sometimes.
She'll probably just use us as one of her royal slaves.
Actually, no. She would just charm the judge. She can charm.
Oh,
she can charm people.
Listen, if Majesty wasn't a quote unquote hero, listen. And she wanted to kill people, she could easily do that. She couldn't. She could just charm them. Don't you want to just end it all? Yeah.
Majesty is like friendly.
Just little pew pew.
Majesty is like the friendly long horse in the sense that otherworldly powers, there's unfathomable control, but yet is on the side of good, and we're fortunate to be in that situation. Okay. Little do we know of the road ahead, but at least we've got a protector and friend. The pops need to unionize.
They probably could run a union. or maybe oh my god. This is Strike Pop. This is what else? Strike Pop.
Protest Pop.
Protest Pop. Safety Pop.
HR Pop. I don't know. Right. Anyway, video.
I want OSHA Pop.
I was gonna say OSHA, but Aiden said safety already, so
yeah. Riot Pop.
Yes, thank you, Fox. Exactly.
And Riot Pop also does like some like rock music, some like punk rock style pop music.
Yeah, literally the song that I predict to Riot. That's yeah.
She has like frazzled hair, bright red accents everywhere. She's some dark black and red makeup on her face.
I did say goth pops would actually work as a concept. Anyway, She's an alien princess whose headquarters are a spaceship. Probably not.
And then she became a princess overnight. Gotta do it right.
She was born a princess.
That's
That's not how that works.
Sophia the First, okay? Sophia the First. Where am I at, huh? Where am I in this video, huh?
I'm
where am
wondering
I?
where you're at half the time when we do
Jacob's here,
recordings.
BB's here. What about me? What about me? I'm a hot man that should be in all the Gacha videos.
You're in the attractive men dimension because you use a different spell.
Oh yeah. Well, no, you're there too with the like
Oh, wait, no,
three
I'm-
attractive females.
I'm still in the cafe. I didn't get.
No,
that.
I
didn't
took
hitch the ride.
you from the cafe too, and like you're with the three attractive females and the attractive.
Yeah,
men.
you're part of the only men -3 world. In which case, there's like 3 women.
Oh, that's the that's the world of only mans.
Listen, and all OnlyFans are free in that world.
Then there's no point having a site for whatever.
Listen, I want free OnlyFans.
She's a what?
Yeah.
Shh. Can we
I
stop
hear
the
it'll be
superhero
free
talk
if you
now?
use money to get access to it.
What a fantastic insight you have. I don't want to cause a lot of attention.
Also, discrimination doesn't exist in the only men dimension with 3 women. There's no discrimination of any kind in that universe.
I mean, I should hope not, because I mean you didn't specify that the men were gay, so I mean
They were. They all
That's
are.
true. It's just
They
like
all
in
are.
real life, you're
Yeah.
still running the roulette of who is or isn't even into men.
Listen, no, they all are. Okay, they all are in that universe. They're all for me. They're all in love with me. Okay, they're all in love with me.
so you and now you see why Afmal had a self-insert fantasy.
They're all in love with me, and I can choose them at my pleasure. And also, there's like an adoption agency, and like we'll adopt after I settle down with a man.
Why would you adopt if you can just?
How would there be children then? No one would be born.
Well,
Unless like
yes,
three
they can.
women
3
are
women.
extremely fertile.
There's 3
They're
women.
they're very fertile women that you eventually
Sorry,
will have
Jacob,
a
you're gonna
child.
have to share.
Just say, yeah.
You will have a child. There's no contraception in that universe, so you'll have a child that I'll get to keep, and you can have the rest.
They all belong to Aiden, except
So
the ones
this
who don't.
So this adoption agency immediately closes down after you have adopted one child from it, and all of them get
Yes.
sent back to
Yes.
me specifically.
Listen. Yes.
This is sounding like a nightmare world, honestly.
Oh.
Sometimes it's time to make a cheesy self-insert. Yeah, at the expense of your friends, apparently. All right.
No, you'll be fine. The three women in that world are attractive. Okay.
I don't think that's the concern. I think the concern is how are the kids being made and what's happening to them.
Well, you see.
The guy in the background looks like he's about to lose his mind with the woman talking to him. He looks like
I
one of
would agree.
those like crazy sea captains. It's like,
Yeah, I've seen many travelers along the way. Oh, I know. whatever.
Ghosty,
I like
would
to
you,
imagine
would you,
that
could I pull
he'll
you
just,
into
like,
that world
pull
as
out his-
well? Can I pull you into that world too? I'll put some attractive lesbians in there for you.
I like to imagine he'll just show
One of the 3 women is a lesbian.
I mean, I was gonna give extra women, but you know what? Nah, just one of them's a lesbian.
I like to imagine that the captain's gonna like pull out like his arm and show like where his hand would be, and be like, "Ah, see, I lost this one in the War of 9,000."
And I lost this one hunting after the Loch Ness Monster. And yes, I took a boat on a loch to go run with it. I didn't think that through when I was talking a second ago.
I'll give you one of me hands as a wedding gift.
I mean, people do ask people's hands in marriage, so
I guess it's literal this time.
yeah. Maybe we should go outside and see if we can work out where we are.
You know, the French have that like glove slap thing. I like
Yeah.
to imagine for him it's just an actual hand.
Well, I mean, what would be smart is if you guys go back to where you guys initially woke up, both of you, and like try to look around those areas to see if there's any clue of where you came from, any like signs, anything that
Magical
will help.
remnants, I suppose.
Anything that will point you into the direction of the way out.
No, oh my god. Okay, so he was like only the clever can escape. I imagine they go back and they realize the dimension just left an entire ARG for them to solve.
They just see there's like a print out of a spectrograph on the ground. Anyway. Let's get home. Good idea. Also, when I like this, call me Pirouette, not Juliet. Yeah, unlike myself, I broke that rule immediately, but I didn't know I was transformed, because I didn't check, I guess.
I didn't look at my hair or like feel how my outfit felt a bit different, or like feel the fact that now I had activated my superpowers. None of that. I didn't know any of that. Like, okay.
Absolutely. We aren't supposed to use our real names when in superhero form.
Well, you already
If
did.
Majesty finds out, I will be shot.
That is one of Majesty's rules, actually.
That she'll shoot you.
No, that you can't say the names. No.
Yeah, that's the lesson we're supposed to be taking out of this, I think. Thanks, Aiden.
One of Majesty's rules is that you can't tell anyone, and you have to use your super pop names in pop mode.
And you'll be shot.
We're almost
BB,
done.
would you go to attractive men dimension? I will also make a buy guy for you.
Ooh, I'm sorry, what about buying men?
No,
I'll
bi
make-
guy. A guy who is bi. A bi guy.
Oh,
Yeah, buy guy. So,
I
you
thought
know.
in Aiden's like perfect society here.
You can buy men.
Yeah, that there was just like for some reason
There's just
slavery
a
allowed.
transatlantic slave trade going on,
mean-
apparently.
What do you mean transatlantic? It's a different dimension. You don't have the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
It's the only thing that carried over.
What, a massive body of water?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. Wait, no, I just pulled J.K. Rowling. They like being enslaved, guys. They like it. Oh my
Oh, so
god.
okay.
That's
so-
my excuse. They like being enslaved, guys. Trust me. It's okay. They like it.
well,
God,
hello.
it-
Well, hello there. What's your name? Dobby, sir.
God, it's like those movies.
One of the men sound like Dobby as well. Just
It's
so
like
you
those
mention.
movies where someone gets kidnapped and then they start screaming for help, and then the guy who kidnapped him, who's like touring around the house, is like, "Oh, my girl, she just makes so many funny noises. Those are the noises she makes when she's excited. Shut up! Shut up!"
Oh man, her
He
screaming
loves it
help.
Don't go in there though.
No,
Her
I mean,
screaming help, let me go. I've been kidnapped. It's actually code
Help,
for
let me
I
go,
love you so
help,
much,
let me
baby.
go,
Come back to
help,
bed,
let me
please.
go, let me go
Oh,
tonight. She
she's
said,
screaming,
help,
please
let
let
me
me
go,
get me
help,
out of this
let me
crazy
go,
place. It's
help,
actually I
let
want to
me
be in this
go,
place
stop
forever,
kidnapping me.
obviously. Duh. Like, you know, like I'm really good at translating women. That's my
Mhm.
special talent.
Man, I zoned out for a second there and popped back into I'm really good at translating women. That's my special talent.
Yep. He can't figure out their clothes, but he can translate for them.
Yes. BB say
Anyway.
something and I'll translate.
Please say something in a different language. That'll be really funny.
BB.
Me llamo yogurt. Me-
That's enough. That's enough. You said something now.
Okay. Me like yogurt on my naughty bits.
No.
Bam.
Oh my
Wrong.
god!
Absolutely
See?
wrong.
See, I translated.
What she said was, "My name is Yogurt,"
No.
and then she stopped talking.
And then I ended off with pan.
No, it's definitely what I went with. Because
Okay.
my special talent of translating women.
Okay. Apparently, pan means naughty pits.
Listen.
No, even then, even then, that just sounds that sounds like like that's like a pet name. My name's Yogurt Naughty Bits.
Okay. Ready as the firing beam. I sense a disturbance in the force. A rule breaker.
Oh
see?
God!
Yeah.
You got a nuke her from space.
This is what I was talking about before. I've got the accent down, but not the pitch. Got it. Pirouettes. Yeah, I have to like review whenever I monetize these streams or anything. I have to review like the AdSense suitability. So I have to go through like, okay, what does this video contain? Does it contain these things, these things, these things? It's like, well, technically.
Wow, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we can teleport, but I don't think it happens randomly. By the way, love the subtle like effect of the sun on them, like the sun setting. They look slightly differently shaded. We have to say a phrase to change our outfits. And I don't know if it can happen to other people who aren't Pops. Except it clearly did just now. That's why you're both here. Well, I suppose villains, maybe.
That would imply that this universe has like a cosmic scale to define whether you're a hero or a villain.
I suppose. It can't have been a localized teleporty glitch thing.
Weren't you right next to each other? Yes, it could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as he knows, he hasn't. I mean, I'm just guessing the other Pops would be somewhere around here because there's 6 people who would have been transported in. So
yeah, where are the others at?
Yeah, so like we know that there's like other Pops that would be here, but like he doesn't. Oh, okay, there we go. If it was other people in the cave would be here, fine. That makes sense.
I don't know about that. They were sitting at the same table.
Yeah, it's just like very, very minutely localized.
Yes.
I bet the police are searching for us by now. It hasn't been 24 hours, so I'm not sure if it could be legally reported missing. Depends on like where you are in the world. I'm not sure what the rules are in Germany. You've probably been gone for hours.
Well, to be fair, I think they would actually start looking early because in this case we're dealing with minors.
Okay, fair.
We're not dealing with adults.
Our families must be super worried. Well, I mean, his family might be. Juliet's one probably doesn't know because she's had to transfer.
She's running from them, her and her crazy uncle.
Yeah.
The real final boss of the season is CPS.
If you can teleport anywhere, can you teleport us back home?
Majesty gets CPS called on her.
This is normally this has been the solution in like other Pop series. Whenever there's like another isekai episode, it's usually that the person who hasn't been teleported can teleport into the world and then rescue the others who were trapped there before. That's how it normally gets solved. That's admittedly mostly a Johnny thing and not an Eli thing, but I'm not sure if it's happening in Jazz Pops or not.
To be fair, in this case, we're talking about being teleported to another world, which, to our knowledge, we don't know if these specific Pops have the ability to teleport to other worlds, if that makes any sense, or if they have to teleport within our world.
Certain abilities like teleportation and group performances are universal to every Pop group. It's more so like their specific like unique powers that they have.
What levels their teleportation? Like, because teleporting
is this between D&D? Teleport is not like a second level spell.
No, teleporting to different worlds is different than teleporting somewhere in the same world. Heck, even teleporting based off distance can vary from the level of your ability to teleport. For example, you may only be able to teleport a few feet ahead of you, or you may be able to teleport within 100 miles of you, or you may be able to teleport anywhere in the universe you want. It can really depend on the story and stuff. Not to mention, when we're dealing with other worlds, we're also dealing with some sort of realm barrier, some sort of mystical barrier that separates each of the worlds. which teleporting past that is way
Are we here?
harder. Yes,
That
it's
hasn't been the barrier thing hasn't been established. Everything else you've said makes sort of sense.
Well,
if
I
it
would
weren't for the
have
fact
to
that all
assume
pops
there's
have
a
the same
barrier.
default ability.
Yeah.
Well, I
there's
mean,
so many-
what is a barrier than just a separation across the different worlds? I mean,
it depends. Then the realm itself could just be like it'd be like on another plane entirely. It could be somewhere else out
Right,
in the
but
vastness
wouldn't-
of space.
yeah, but there
Not
would have to be a real barrier that like splits the planes, right?
Yeah.
I can specify these pops like that is a super common thing. It is. It's happened in Tree Pop and Trust Pop, and it's happened multiple times in Disco Pops, especially to other franchises. At least those ones, off the top of my head. Again, I've reviewed a lot of pop stuff.
Not to mention, who knows if your powers have been tampered with or not? Because, like, I mean, you did get teleported here against your will, so there is a
And
good chance
transformed
that
against your will.
yeah, so there's a good chance your powers don't even work properly in this world.
I mean, well, she won't know until she tries. And speaking of which, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that earlier? Oh, it's happened in the Super Pops a couple of times. Okay, so I guess that was the original basis for it. So be it. Why didn't we think of that earlier? Also, I'm thinking, like, is this...
This is a needlessly epic background.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this music, like, the moment when, like... Is this the music when, like, Odette's curse takes effect and she turns into a swan? Is that this... I'm not overly familiar with, like, how the ballet proceeds exactly, but I think this is the music where that happens specifically. So, in my mind, she's going to turn into a pig right now. Ballet pops on heaven. Ballet pops on heaven. It didn't work. Uh-oh. That shouldn't happen, right? What, something not working shouldn't happen? Yeah, that's usually... Things aren't designed not to work. They've gone through it a couple of times before. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Did, like, John Williams get inspiration from this?
It's entirely possible, but then again, John Williams could have got inspiration from an orchestra.
Yeah, I know, but it's just some bits of this sound a lot like some of the Star Wars music I've heard.
I suppose. A bit. A bit, yeah. Great. Hope there's some other way to get out of here. At least you're here, but this is not the date I have planned. What's that? What's what? Oh no, she's got that My Street hearing. There, in the sky.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No,
Nope.
it's
Swines. It's Super Swine.
Oh god. Oh god, her friends have already been turned into swine. Fast.
Coming soon, Superman into the Superverse with Super Swine as as one of the options.
it's just the bootleg version of Spider Pam.
Just like
Spider
a version of like
Swine.
everyone, yeah, like Super Noir exists as well. Wait, that would be an actual excuse to have Nicolas Cage as Superman finally.
Will we?
Other than
will
the
we-
Flash. Other
Yeah,
than the
okay.
Flash. Yes.
Okay. Beat me to it.
Okay, I see it now. Wait, what's that? It didn't look like a bird or a plane. Aiden's psychic today.
Wait, what do you
And
mean
it's certainly
Aiden's psychic today?
It's
I'm the
certainly
one who
not
said that.
Superman. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Now I'll take the compliment.
I want to follow whatever those things were. Well, good luck. They're flying and you're on the ground.
Do you have access to your superpowers?
Maybe she can teleport a short distance.
Yeah, I mean, only one way to find out.
Something tells
mean-
me they lead to answer. Are you crazy? We could get even more lost.
We're already lost. You
Yeah.
know, it's a lead.
Yeah, we don't know where we are now, but we can know even less where we are now. I'm sure we can find more answers here.
Okay, where are the answers at?
Probably within like the people who seem to know him as Siegfried. They could probably give like some context clues if they're still missing out on details.
I mean, yeah, but they think he's Siegfried, so if that's not going to help them get out of this situation, they just think he's someone else.
Ah, okay, so Siegfried sees the swans for the first time. I guess we sometimes different forms. Got it. Okay. So I guess he's seen the pigs for the first time here, so that's a connection.
It's just a motif, alright, got it.
Mm-hmm. Besides, it looked like those, well, I guess UFOs are going to the forest.
Unidentified flying objects.
We all know what UFO stands for, Aiden.
Yes. It's not
We-
alien. It's
we
not
live-
alien, technically. It doesn't have to be alien to be UFO.
Yeah, we know. That's what unidentified be. We
Yeah,
understood that.
Yes, caca.
No one was
Anyways.
confused.
Why
Anyway.
why do you think going caw is the correct response to that?
It's just what I say.
What happened during this conversation that made you think the right response to this was caw?
Caca.
No, see,
Are
that,
you
that's-
secretly the alien here? Do you just not know how a human like?
No, see,
Oh,
BB, that was Aiden's version of a UFO, an unfiltered filler onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't have I have superpowers. I won't die or anything. I'll be fine.
I mean,
Is-
well, you're not immortal. Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
is-
wait.
is
You're not. Your
invincibility
superpowers aren't
superpower?
immortality. Your superpowers are like what? Strength or something? I don't think your superpower and like good dancing. I don't think
Okay.
your And maybe
Admittedly, in the Tony TV versions or any of these, we never really see the super pops like get majorly hurt. So we don't
Is
know
it-
how resistant they are.
Is it like
Well, they just have
Spider-Man
high- they
logic
just
where
probably just- they
technically they
probably
aren't
have-
invincible, but they have really good healing abilities?
They're
But-
probably just got good resistance to stuff.
Maybe
They
what
probably
I'm saying is we never get a chance to find out because that never really comes to pass because most of the villains that I give off like, yes, I will capture them and I will keep them here. Well, I hypnotize them, kind of like remember the target audience for super pops. They're not gonna like rock the boat too much in that regard. So we don't really ever get any moments where there's like extreme hurt in order to have a vulnerability be triggered in any way. So we don't really know how durable they are necessarily. They can still be super baddies. Maybe with some kind of mitosis and they'll let themselves go. I think you mean metamorphosis, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah, mitosis.
Mitosis.
What happens inside of your cells?
Oh wait, no,
Superman.
sorry, no, no. So mitosis would be as if like Superman like cloned himself, like that, and then also like everything. That's okay. I see what you mean now. Okay, got it. I'm going to the forest. I don't want to get hurt. I'll come too. And this is where he gets his overcompensating protective side again. Then let's go.
Don't worry, if you die, I'll die too.
Wait,
Hey, it's
self-death act?
Ride or die. That's how it goes. Anyways, to be continued as the music like fades down. Very aptly
that-
timed, I must say. Yes, that's the end of the episode.
Good.
I say good only because we've been here for way too long.
Yeah,
actually-
That is a-
we have discussed a lot. I have said
We've learned a lot of things. Isn't that
Mhm.
right, Aiden?
Ah, yes, all the things I've learned. Hey, do you want to learn? Do you want me to tell you more about this world with
I
pretty
really
much
don't.
majority men?
Not really.
No.
Oh,
hey,
no.
What a great question that came from our chat right now. What's your pros and cons
Yes.
for part 1?
So the pros and cons for part 1 of my whole story about men, a men only world with a few women and it's a very complicated
Part
idea.
1 of the plan.
Yeah, part 1 of my world building with that. So for starters, they're all super hot. There's no so actually, and also you eat as much as you want in this world without gaining weight. It's amazing.
Okay.
You don't even need to eat. Eating is just for fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
so like angels then.
Yes, and you don't need to sleep. And
like vampires.
Where everyone is angelic vampires.
That's a concept.
No, I will say
two things that Aiden really likes on top of like, I was like, yeah, angels, vampires, and attractive men. 3 things that Aiden really likes.
Yeah. Are you getting me that for my birthday?
How would I do that?
I don't know. Why don't you just start
Amazon wish-
genetically modifying people until you get it?
Oh sure, I'll use my science degree that I have.
Yeah, but no, I will say I quite enjoy this pop.
I'll get Pandemiel as a science consultant then. They
Yeah,
proved
I will say
themselves a
I
lot
like
last time.
I like this pops more than a lot of the others. It has decent character designs. The ending didn't feel as abrupt as anything else in this universe does for some reason. Everything else is just, and there we have it. There you go, guys.
This video's long enough. I can like end it here. It's
Yeah.
like Tammy the Bad Boy.
I
That's what I
mean-
was going to say earlier. Tammy the Bad Boy is another example of someone going, "Oh, he likes it," and pretending that is confirmation.
The
I
music for
forgot.
the most part was okay, except for the final music. The music at the end felt too epic for how I felt during the scene.
It's because like the two of them were really like it's almost like in a relaxed environment. It was the sunsets. It was like, you know, very low energy, and then you're like, bah, 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 bah. Like
Right.
maybe like if the pigs had appeared at like that exact moment, maybe then it would have like synced up, I guess. But then I guess
I
like,
love the idea of you really going hard in the editing for the flying pigs. So what happens is right as you get bum bum bum, you see the pigs really just smoothly soaring across the sky. It's like a villain intro. They just start soaring. Boom.
Not gonna lie, if I've written the script, that's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, but I mean, overall,
here's the
like,
big threat.
in all seriousness, I really do like this episode. I think it's interesting. I would have liked to see more from the other pops because I feel like it would have been nice if we got to catch up
I'm really wondering
briefly
where they
with them
are.
in the other world. Because like I kind of feel like we just kind of been like, oh no, these two we're only focusing on them.
I will say this is only part 1, so I'm gonna give some slack on that.
I guess I just kind of wish they had more to do in this episode because this episode really felt focused purely on those two.
I mean, that is an underrated aspect of, I guess not even just this episode, but sometimes some of Eli's writing for the pops particularly, because in Total TV the episodes are normally like 22 minutes long, so they have time to to separate them and to have like individual moments for all the pops and etc. etc. In most of the other pop stuff we've seen, the episodes are only like a few minutes long, like around like 5 or so, depending on. It doesn't feel like it because we talk forever, but they are very short in general. So there's not really much of a chance with like the extensive cast. That's why I keep telling Johnny, stop adding new pops to things all the time. That's not the solution. The solution is actually giving them more character. And Eli gets that. And there's been examples in the past, like with like L Pop's whole like betrayal thing, some like the solo moments in Jazz Pop season 2 where they're actively going on the search. And now here is the combination of that was like, okay, we're going to focus a little bit on just this character. Then again, Juliet has had more focus than most of the other pops it has so far because of episode 1 that was also mainly from her perspective. So it feels like she's like the main character if there was a main character in a pop group in general, which I'm not sure if that's the plan for her. I mean, I suppose that be she was the one in Swan Lake and not Odette, because I mean, come on. But I guess we'll find out. There's more of the other pops in part 2, and I guess in future, I guess that'd be a good thing to ask about. I would love to see more individual episodes from the other pops' perspectives too, to show that it is like a shared series. Unless, of course, you are going for Jude as the main character, and we're focused like in that way, kind of like Bloom and Winx Club or something on those lines. If you're going with that aspect, then ignore what I just said. If not, more of the other pop stuff, please.
I mean, I will say, from a writing perspective, even if there is a main character, what I feel like this episode could have used is either cutting back to the other pops to see what they're up to in this alternate world, or B, in the early part of the episode, make that scene slightly longer and give them more unique lines and more character early on. To like be like, okay, so here's just some time to enjoy the regular pops or like the rest of the pop team before we focus on the main pop or this main pop for the rest of the episode. And that's just something I would have did just to kind of like develop to get a chance to get more time with them. Because in general, the series, I'm guessing like pop series as a whole tend to be more about the whole team instead of just a single member.
Well, you've seen plenty of them, so you know that's the case. But yes,
Yeah.
that is the case.
I mean, the main problem with I feel like most pop series, most of the individual cast members don't get much characterization though. Like for some of the pop series
That's what I was
Yeah.
talking about before. And usually the problem with that is because they don't have enough time to do that within the episode frames, and also because in certain cases, I mentioned Johnny specifically, more characters keep on getting added way too quickly, so there's no time to even like introduce everyone properly. Which is why I worry for the poll that he has just made completely redundant by adhering to both of the requests rather than just one of them. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. But in the future, for now, I don't know when we're going to be back here next, because you've seen back here, the guest is coming tomorrow, so I will not have access to this room at this time going forward until I'm not sure when, because we don't know how long that he's going to be here. So that will mean that I'm going to switch back to doing mainly like pre-recorded videos and not every single day. That means I'll be more rested, which thank goodness. But at the same time, is like any like live streams but any streams, if it's all this time, will be premieres rather than streams going forward. So I might prepare stuff like this. I might have stuff already prepared. You never know. Same thing goes for the Butter Bunch, at least on my end. That these two can stream if they want on there. Not gonna stop them. I'll just watch.
I don't have any streams planned at the moment. I still
Yeah,
have a lot of research I need to do.
You know, yeah. I mean, if you want, you can stream more Nightmare Time, and I'll just watch from the chat whenever it goes live.
I could.
I mean, BB, if you want to do that, I'll join you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just need to get more research for FNAF stuff. I want to get a FNAF timeline out sometime soon.
Oh, okay.
Even if it's not in the main continuity,
maybe,
I'd like something at least for an appetizer. I hate how long this is taking.
Well, maybe we will get Shorty back and we'll do some more pre-recorded Most Popular Girls in School on that channel.
That would be great.
Yes. Okay. Well, something like that. I was going to make it to episode getting very long. Next scene is cut to the others. So I had to split the episode somewhere. I had to find it's hard to find a place to split. Oh, okay. I mean, it's from obviously I haven't seen the rest of it, but it does seem like it was a natural place to split.
I thought you were just like doing one act per part.
I mean, I guess maybe ultimately that's how it might turn out. Not sure. But yeah, all to be decided. So yeah, looking forward to that next one. And I know what we're going to do the next time. Honestly, you know what? If I'm going to pre-recorded videos, I'll put some Mathmouse stuff out. Because I can do that. So yeah, but for now, of course, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. Subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time, whatever the format may be, farewell.